All right. Welcome to Marty and Stu's Pizza Podcast.
Yeah, Stu ordered pizza like the big pork chop that he is.
Why not, you know?
What were we saying last week about eating healthy or some shit?
Yeah. Look, most of the time, you know?
Most of the time you eat healthy
So sue
all
me.
the time.
How shit is that saying? So sue me.
Yeah, that's just someone who has nothing left to say.
Well, like, but who, like, what do you mean? Like, I get it. You're going to sue someone. Well, for talking. Is that the joke?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I
It's
don't
so
know.
shit.
It's sort of just filling up space while you're looking for the next thing to say.
So we're both in our fucking work attire,
Yeah.
as you can see.
Bit different.
Very similar.
Yeah, similar.
Very
work
similar.
As well.
But if I worked at an accountant's looking like this, they'd be like, don't you fucking touch my money.
Correct, but there are like hipster accountants.
Are there?
Yeah, where it's like, we wear T-shirts. Do ya? Okay. I don't know.
Is that a thing? Like,
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
Yeah. No,
It's
it's
going to be
Friday.
the best podcast, me
It's a-
chewing in everyone's ear.
Yeah, that's good. It's Friday. I don't love doing podcasts on Friday because Fridays I'm ready for bed Friday.
Yeah. We didn't really have much unless we left it for
busy
another
in
week.
that.
Yeah,
We're
so busy.
Fucking busy.
Busier than you cunts.
Yeah. All right. What was I going to say? Oh, do you remember a couple of weeks ago how I said how I get nervous when people talk to me about podcasts or whatever? Mm-hmm. He messaged me after the second one and he goes, so I listened to the podcast. That's all he texted me.
It's a good start.
Yeah. And I fucking started pissing in me pants.
Yep.
I wrote back, yeah, and? He didn't message back for like 24 hours. I'm like, fuck, what?
Just tell me you can't.
And he goes, nah, nothing. I was just giving you the shits because he said you don't like people messaging you about it.
That's good as.
But he did say to me that he likes it, but the Star Wars shit and the nerd stuff he doesn't care about because he's a fucking sportsman, right?
Yep.
So I wanted to ask you some sports questions to
Go
keep
for it.
Sheehy happy. What?
Let's test my knowledge, like legitimately, because I do have some footy knowledge.
All right, but I said sports.
All right, go for it.
What do you think about the Antonio Brown situation?
Don't know who he is.
How do you think Beckham's going at his new club?
Great.
Did you see his catch? Do you reckon Derek Carr will do well this season?
No.
I hope you're wrong.
Who is he? Don't
All
know
right,
who he is.
football.
So the Antonio thing, was that the guy who like pulled back the guy's head?
No, what's that?
Well, there was like some tribunal decision.
Different sports.
Oh.
Antonio Brown was a gridiron player for right? Antonio Brown was a gridiron player for the Raiders, but then he called the general manager a cracker. And
Oh. Okay, yeah. No, different.
different, yeah. And then he ended up, Raiders fired him or released him from his $20 billion contract, and then the Patriots picked him up. And then, now he's getting done for raping someone, I think. So, all good shit there. But I guess we can talk about Australian sports. Who do you think's going to win tonight? Who's playing? Geelong, Richmond.
It's a close matchup.
Is it?
Richmond will win.
What area of the field do you think will be most important for Richmond to win the football game?
The area of, Ablett's in the centre / front.
The front.
Front centre, forward half. So there, in the ruck. They got to get it back to their possession so that Gary Ablett doesn't get possession and kick it forward to get goals.
Correct. Do you think Hawkins will do well tonight?
He's a veteran, so...
Hawkins
Did I say that right?
Yeah, Hawkins ain't playing.
Okay.
Who do you think's going to win tomorrow, Sydney, GWS?
Oh, fucked if I know. I would have thought they're both shit, but there you go.
No.
Sydney?
What was his name? Do you think Toby Mitchell should have been suspended?
Didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Just an instinct? What do you think?
Don't know who he is. So, yes. Fuck him.
All right, that's enough footy talk.
Yeah, enough sports.
That was to please you.
You can do more sports, but let's move on from footy.
That was called Stu's Sports Corner.
Yep. It's the worst segment we've ever done. So after our last podcast, we went to Bo's party. Party. I don't know if you call that. It was his birthday.
Yes.
So that night, I got there before everyone, before Bo, of course, because he got there late.
It's good that he even turned up.
Correct. So I go, yeah, can I get a beer? They go, oh, yeah.
That's a good start.
I've got a card.
Oh, that's right.
They go, oh, yeah. yeah, we've got a $20 minimum. Do you mind putting on a tab? I'm like, well, I want a beer.
Yeah.
So give me a fucking beer.
But $20 minimum,
Ridiculous.
that should be criminal.
Ridiculous. Did we talk about this? That was the last one, wasn't it?
No, we didn't talk about it on here.
Yeah, fucking. So I'm like, okay. As I'm handing it over in my head, I'm like, I'm losing this card tonight. I'm not gonna pick it up. I'll forget. Like, it's not natural to pick up a tab.
No.
Unless you're a bar
Unless
junkie.
you're like trying to show off to a bunch of wankers. Let me put it on my tab, boys.
Yeah. But I'm not. So I'm forgetting this as I'm handing it over. So anyway, yes, I forgot it. I remembered halfway home on the Eastern, so I'm like, there's no chance I'm turning around. Fuck that.
Too
I
far.
have to get off the Eastern, then come back. No chance. So then through my head, I'm like, okay, well, when am I picking it up? And the next day was Father's Day. I knew I had to go shopping to get something for my dad. I had to go shopping for groceries for us, and then we had to go to my parents' house for dinner. No time that day. Plus, I don't know when they're open. No chance. So as soon as I got home that night, I put the card on hold. Woke up the next morning. They're like, tried to take the cash out, but it blocked it because I'd put it on hold. The bar did.
Without fucking taking it out right as soon as I used it?
No, because they've got a tab on, right? So they're not going to...
So you never stopped the tab?
Not officially, because I didn't pick up the card.
Yeah.
So I put it on hold. So they tried to take the money out, which in my head is like, I get it, but it's also kind of unethical because they haven't got my approval to take money out of my card, apart from me handing it over.
I think they did the minute you handed it over.
That's an unspoken thing, right? There's no rules there.
I guess, so what? Are you saying that they should have held on to the money
not necessarily.
until you went and got the card?
Not necessarily. Maybe.
That sort of, I reckon that's all right.
I don't know. What's the ethics there? Anyway.
The ethics is don't be a dipshit and don't forget the card.
Correct. But I did, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to happen.
But
so anyway.
$20 minimum, that's
hang on.
so stupid.
So anyway, in my head, I'm like, I'm not getting this card. I had to buy groceries that day, so I had to unlock it to pay, and then I locked it again.
Why, you got 2 credit cards?
No, because on your phone app, you can lock and unlock your card.
Yeah.
So to pay for the groceries, I had to unlock the card so that I could pay
By using your little phone?
using my phone.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
I get it, motherfucking get
Yeah,
it.
so I did that, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ordering a new card. That's what's happening now. So I did, and it came by Wednesday, so fuck them. They didn't get my $25. I got 3 free drinks. Fuck your stupid $20 minimum.
That's a good little life hack, though, isn't it?
It's not bad.
Like, if you want free drinks from tight asses who...
The round's on me.
Yeah, but, like, do you want free drinks from a bar that's so tight you have to, $20 minimum, which is just a crock of shit?
Hang on.
Go there,
I've got
give
2
them a credit
things,
card,
right?
then leave without picking it up, then ask the bank for a new one.
Yep.
But wait,
the bank would eventually cotton on if you're ordering all these new cards all the time.
but is it the exact same card number?
No, different.
So
So I had to change everything, but who cares? That doesn't take long.
yeah.
So
Still annoying.
2 thoughts. One, they're fucking charging $9 for a beer anyway.
Where were we again? Northcote?
Yeah. $9 for a beer. Fuck you.
I know.
For a 330 ml
It was
beer.
a pot. Was it a pot or a schooner?
Well, I got a pint.
Sorry, you
I
didn't.
got
The reason why you didn't is because I also hate joints where you go there and it's like, can I grab a pint of
No,
this?
I didn't get a
And they
pint,
go,
you're
no,
right.
we haven't got pints.
Yeah, it was schooners.
Schooners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get bigger glasses.
Yeah, exactly. So schooners. So yeah, $9 for a schooner of beer, which is like what, 470 mils or something. Like $9. Give
Yeah.
me a fucking break. Plus, you're a business. You have fees. That is what a business. Like you've got an account with a bank.
Yeah, like merchant fees.
Find a better bank if you don't like the fees
Yeah.
that you're paying.
That's
Don't
right.
put it on the customer. You're already charging this much money. What a crock of shit.
Yeah,
So I fucked them. Fuck them.
No, I don't disagree. Julia had a funny one where there's a cafe near us that... Now, this is sort of funny and people can read into it any way they want.
Just say the joke.
Shut up, mate. Is that Julia goes there to buy coffee, and the coffee's whatever, $3.50 or something, or nearly $4. She goes to pay by card, and they're like, sorry, $5 minimum. So she didn't have it. She goes, I haven't got $5 in coins or $3 in $3.50 in coins. The girl behind the thing's like, oh, I'll do it at least once. So he's like, thank you, God.
I know.
Fucking Jesus. And then every time I would go get a coffee for $3.50, I'd always just tap. I wouldn't say shit about the minimums. I just thought that was a little funny. Why? It's because she's a girl. They feel more able to pressure her or something.
Nah, I don't know, man.
They never
but that's
asked
fucked.
me.
But
And
also,
then the other thing is then the next time she did go there, aware of this little rules that they got. So she gave them $3.50 in like 20s and 10s because that's what she had. And then they're cracking it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you got gold? We don't take silvers.
fuck off, idiots.
How am I supposed to pay for this at this stage?
Do you want my money? It's so backwards.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate those minimums.
Okay,
They're bullshit.
$5 minimum at a cafe where most people are buying coffee for $4.
Yeah, $4 or whatever.
What do you want from me?
I know. And this is why
You want me to buy more? No, you're going to send me away because I'm not going to want to come back with all these bullshit rules.
It shouldn't be
such bad practice.
When they make it hard for you to buy shit, like I just sort of think, I think I said this already, but I remember thinking of like Italy when you'd go there, buy stuff, here's €20, got smaller.
Do you want my
Just
fucking money?
take it. Just count. Get a calculator. Work out the change.
Cockheads.
Fuck.
Yep.
Annoying.
I don't know, man. Like, yeah, it's just so stupid. I think the business owners are probably not there. You'd think they would be. If they're a cafe or a restaurant or something, most of the time the owners are there pretty regularly. But the chance is that the owner is not there much. So he doesn't actually have to put up with, one, customers being annoyed that there's a minimum, and the staff don't care. So they're got to put up with the shit from the customer.
Yeah.
So they're in a bad mood too. None of these things are good.
Reverts back to the banks, though.
Apart from you having to pay for the fee at the bank.
Yeah, but it reverts back to the banks. Like, the banks are squeezing these small business owners.
I know.
Who are the banks making billions. The small business owners, because I see it, aren't making a lot.
I know.
And they're getting squeezed. So it's the banks, really.
But you're a business. You have to be prepared for these things to be in place. It's just a prerequisite.
I have a little theory that will even revert back to cash a little bit, because there's some bars now that are charging you fees to use your debit card.
Yeah,
it's your money.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, we charge surcharge for Amex or whatever, but they're charging surcharge for any card.
I know. I don't get it.
It's like, so... Now, when you work it out, it's like 30 cents. So it's like, fuck it. Oh,
there is
but
a
sometimes
law that
it's
Australia
like,
put in.
they'll go down and I'll just get money from the ATM. Like, it's sort of weird. Everyone's like, we're going to go away from cash. They keep on bringing rules in like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They'll eventually figure it out. But I don't know. Yeah, anyway, I forgot my train of thought. And pretty much done with that.
When I came here from work, like, I'm boring accountant, man. And I come here to... cool fucking rock star world, mate. Fucking, playing my guitar and drums.
What's your point?
My point is, I went to the
fucking
toilet.
loser?
My point is, I went to the toilet and accidentally got a bit of piss on my pants, and I had to quickly wash them off like this. So no other cool kids thought I said, "Oh, he got piss on his pants."
The fact is, though, this is funny, right? None of them would have known that, but now a lot of people know that.
A lot of people, like 100 or something.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people to know that you pissed your pants.
I didn't piss my pants.
You
I
did.
accidentally got a little drop on them. And so I had to get like I was like, fucking get dry. Oh, man.
With anger.
Yeah, I was like, the fucking cool kids are going to be looking at you.
Who are they?
It's fucking hot in here.
It's not cold. Which is weird about this place. It's either really fucking cold or really fucking hot.
Yeah, it's been nice these last couple of days.
Yeah, weather. Yeah,
Weather.
how good's that?
How annoying it when people... How annoying is it when people only talk?
I just don't like
Who
small
discusses
talk.
the weather?
Everyone, that's the one purely universal thing. People feel weather differently.
It's just a safe, easy conversation.
Yeah, because everyone has it in common.
Yeah.
You might have an opinion about the weather, but everyone is in the same weather. There's probably nothing in the world that is as universal as the weather.
I think I know what you mean, because it's just like everybody has different life experiences, but everybody experiences the weather the same.
The exact same. It's not like you're next to someone and they're getting rained on and you're not.
Yeah.
So
why does it always rain?
Great song.
That's the only song I know by Travis.
Yeah, Travis. Good name. Yeah, so...
Start from the top because you wrote this one down last week.
Yeah, so...
But is there any point talking about it?
Well, we talk about Star Wars a lot.
I know.
But it was really only my thought about how long, and I'm talking like the extra universe stuff. So if you look into the more not behind the scenes, but the universe of Star Wars and how there's like thousands and thousands of years worth of history. How has technology, it advanced so quick right at the start where, you know, they had lightsabers and ships and they've gone 5,000 years later.
And no improvements.
Why haven't they got better technology? But somehow, I know, like...
But also digressed, sort of, the technology.
Yeah.
Because in episodes 1, 2, and 3, they seemed more technologically advanced than the later movies. Now, obviously...
And there was
that's
way
because
more
one
aliens.
was made in the 70s or whatever, but ignoring that.
Yeah,
And
I know.
there can be an argument that I digressed because of shit times.
Yeah.
You know, like just as an example,
What-
as an example, I'm just pulling out my ass right now, is like, you know, like the Russians and the Americans, Cold War days.
Yep.
Like America was sort of advancing heaps in cultural and social
80s
things.
industrial age.
Yeah, and whereas Russia, their people were starving. Except they did send a dog to the moon, so I don't know.
Well, what are your thoughts on like TV show? You know the term retconning? You do because you read Reddit.
Yeah, and that's where you like redo a story.
So it's like because of the events of the thing that you made after the previous one, where say episode 4, 5, and 6, how they were made in the 70s and 80s. Now you've got technology that's gotten better, and all of a sudden they've got better technology there.
Yep.
And all you say something like, "Oh, this is an example. Obi-Wan dies at the end of episode 4, which was."
Spoilers.
Yeah. So he dies, and it's a really tame lightsaber fight, you know. And then you see episode 5, where they get better at fighting.
Yeah,
like
but-
Darth Vader
but
gets a lot better.
You can compare it to 3 where they're fucking jumping off the
Yeah,
walls.
correct. And then the retcon is that, oh no, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader were having a polite duel to acknowledge each other.
Because
it's like, no, they fucking weren't.
Yeah.
They were wanting to kill each other.
Yeah.
In the story, they were wanting to kill each
But
other.
I do like the theory that Obi-Wan wasn't trying to kill him.
It's a theory, but it's a retcon.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not, but because he does say, if you strike me down.
Yeah.
He's like saying, do it, cunt.
Yeah, I know. But they were still trying, is my point. They were still trying to fight good.
Is a retcon also ret?
R-E-T.
Yeah.
Retroactive confirmation?
Yeah.
Something like that.
A retcon would be, like I said the other week, is if in the new Star Wars movie they do time travel.
Yeah. And
No. Luke's still alive.
No, they could have done it all along. They just didn't choose to.
Yeah.
That's what a retcon is. Making excuses for the story.
For
It's
the
like, no,
terrible story.
just the fucking story was the story, you fuck.
Yeah.
Like in anything. What do you, like,
But
I don't
they
know, what do you
usually
think?
retcon. Yeah. But they retcon stories that are shit. They're just like, oh no, this isn't really a retcon, but they're making Ghostbusters 3.
Okay.
Like, oh no, don't worry about the girls one. No, that was good, but don't worry about it. We're doing the real one now.
No, that's not, it's retconning is in the story purely.
Yeah.
It's about the storyline and things that they do in the movies or the books or whatever. And then you write something later that says, hey, why didn't they do that back then? It's like, oh no, they were being polite. It's like, no, they fucking weren't.
Yeah,
You're
but
just
that's-
saying that.
But they've never come out and said that.
They do, yeah.
Isn't that just fans that say that?
No. There's like authorities from Lucasfilm and all that sort of stuff and Disney who are in charge of saying what is now canon and what isn't.
Yeah. The technology thing, though, I liked it, this guy's theory with the Game of Thrones world. Because the Game of Thrones, in the books, they've got all these magnificent castles. Unbelievably, like in the show, you see the Eyrie. It's this huge castle built on a fucking mountain. Like, how the hell did they build that?
Is that the one with the hole in it?
Yeah. Whereas now they struggle with, building a horse and a cart. And so people have debated how were they ever able to build these magnificent buildings and now they're so shit, like they're like the Middle Ages. And they think it's because they're in a essentially they're in a nuclear holocaust
A nuclear holocaust?
as a result of the
essentially.
dragons destroying the world, and
So that has had effects on the surrounding environment.
yeah, and able to develop. And you can that's sort of based a little bit on history with like the Greeks as well, but the Romans had like plumbing and shit. The Romans had the Roman streets were clean.
Different areas of the world.
But then, years and years later, like maybe even hundreds of years later, when like the Middle Ages was happening, England were like reverted backwards technologically. And then when they went back to Europe and back to Italy, they're like, fuck, these cunts had plumbing and we still are shitting holes and stuff. Like, so it does happen.
Well,
And it could even happen now if they cut out, if something happened, like some big thing happened where they cut all the electricity and power out to the whole world.
We couldn't use mobile phones and the internet.
We would just revert backwards.
Yeah, you'd have to, because you have to deal with the surroundings. The world that you're in dictates how you live.
No one would be feeding their dogs anymore. They'd be fucking eating them.
Did they eat dogs? They didn't eat
If you're
wolves and
hungry.
dogs. If you're hungry.
Yeah. If
Would
there was
you?
like no coals.
Nah, you'd find other shit, wouldn't you? You'd go fishing.
Yeah, but let's say you're not near water.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. Oh, shit.
The other thing that I wanted to say last week that I forgot was, did you see the Joker trailer?
I did.
It looks fucking sick.
It looks really good.
And I'm pinning my hopes on enjoyment on that fucking movie.
And Joaquin Phoenix is a fucking good actor, and he's always had his integrity about him. I think something about him, he doesn't, pander to Hollywood. He's like a renegade. He's a rebel.
Because he nearly ruined his whole career when he did that stupid mockumentary.
Yeah,
Remember
but
when
he
he grew
didn't,
that big
though.
beard?
He didn't.
He didn't now, retrospectively, but at the time, people like that world was
People
like, what the fuck's he doing?
No, but that was his intention.
Yes,
so he
it
did
was,
it
but
right.
people didn't know that. Yeah.
So it was an art piece, right? It was an art installation sort of thing where he goes, I'm going to get a reaction from people because I'm going to make this movie looking as if I've become a degenerate druggie.
But he wanted in the mockumentary, he wanted to be like a rapper as well and stuff.
Correct. And he went
People
on.
thought it was real.
Yeah, but that was his intention.
Yeah.
So he did it right.
Yeah.
So
not saying he didn't, like he's a lord, but I don't know what I'm saying.
no, I know, because your point was, Hollywood could have looked down on him from then on. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. But I think doing that proves to a lot of people that he's got balls.
Oh, no, he does.
And it definitely could have gone, obviously, one of two ways, but only
He
if
could
he
have been
only if he
blacklisted by them.
only if he potentially apologized for doing it, which he didn't. And this is the thing.
We'll go back to that apologising. I want to talk about apologising.
You watch Bill Burr's new stand-up?
I did.
It's fucking good.
Half of it.
Okay,
I want
anyway.
to talk about apologising and the Canadian Prime Minister who just got done wearing brown face.
Oh, really?
And apologising. Anyway, but we'll try to remember to get back to it.
Yeah. Joker.
Joker. After this Joker movie, that's it though. Like,
For Batman?
for Joker,
Focus on another character?
focus on something else. Let's make something else because there has been 3, what's the word? Iterations of the Joker in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's too many. This will be
Yes.
grouse. This will be
Yes.
like, put it to bed now.
Yeah.
And what I hope with this movie is it's one movie, not a universe. I don't
Yeah.
want a fucking universe
No.
or a sequel.
I know.
Or at the end of the movie,
Well, that
you
you
see
know of.
Batman's flying in the sky at the end and people go, oh, did you see him? I don't care about that. I hate
know.
that shit.
I know.
I just want to go to that's why I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I'm going and watching a
knowing-
movie that has an arc and a beginning and a story and things and end.
Yep.
You got to watch the credits at the end because you watch Captain America take a shit at the end.
Yeah, I know.
Couldn't
Put it
care
in the
less, couldn't give a
fucking
shit.
movie, you
I don't
pricks.
care.
Yeah.
But the trailer looks sick.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
good. It
it
has to
does.
be good. This can't be bad.
You'd think so. The way they've marketed it is spot on because they could have marketed it differently to try and attract the Marvel audience. It's a DC universe thing, right? Like DC is known for doing terrible movies, right?
They are
So
when they have creative control.
When they try to pander towards what Marvel's doing, right? They've tried that and they failed.
Yeah.
So now they've been smart with the marketing and it is a DC Comics movie.
It is, but it's like the Chris Nolan's ones where they hand the reins over to someone who actually knows what they're doing, as opposed to
Yeah.
when they made Batman v Superman and the Superman movie and the Wonder Woman movie. They had control of what they were trying to do there.
Yeah.
Whereas they've passed to people who actually have an idea.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well,
You
what about Suicide Squad?
That was terrible, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
That was
like,
made by their world.
but it's still it still is DC Comics, so
Yeah.
they have the final say on how it gets made and who they hire and all that sort of
Oh,
stuff.
well, I don't know the...
Well, that is what it is. It's like but there might be rules in place. What might be, it's like you have to do it this way,
Yeah, but
rather than the director coming in and going, no, I'm going to have this vision. Say Suicide Squad, it's going to look like a comic.
Yeah, but Suicide Squad was atrocious. Suicide Squad was apparently not bad, and then they showed it to the executives, and they're like, no. Let's read. There was rumors of heaps of reshoots.
Right.
There's rumors of heaps of reshoots with the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And usually when you hear rumors of heaps of reshoots, it's like settle in for a pile of dog shit.
I know. Well, that's what happened with Last Jedi.
Yeah.
They needed to take...
And Han Solo.
Yeah.
They've had the guys who made Lego movie. The Han Solo movie was finished by the guys that made the Lego movie.
Yeah.
And then Kathleen Kennedy and the Star Wars...
It wasn't finished.
Like 90%.
No, it wasn't finished.
It was like done.
Yeah.
And then they
Ron
saw
Howard.
it and they're like, no, this is too funny and not what we want. We need safety. Ron Howard, you're a yes man. You'll do what we want.
Yeah. Well, Last Jedi, Ryan Johnson was like, no, I need 8 months worth of writing. It's like 8 months. How much writing can you do to finish the movie?
Yeah.
They had to write it and film it for another 8 months. It's like, Hollywood, you've got the best of the best. Your Star Wars.
They do, but they're also on a time frame of we need to pump this shit out while people still
8 months,
while people
dude.
are still in their brain.
8 months.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
The Joker movie apparently got a sounds so wankerish. Apparently it got like an 8-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sick.
I've been on the movies a bit. I saw once upon a time I saw It.
Yeah, I haven't seen number one still.
Number one's good.
It's on my to watch list. I've watched some okay movies in the past couple of weeks as well.
It one is the only reason why It one is good is because the kids smashed it. Like they carried it. It was a bit like Stand By Me.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Well, that's what the first one was like too, but it focused more on Pennywise.
The one back with
with Tim. What's his name?
Curry.
Tim Curry.
But
because it was about the kids in that one too.
But that was going like the books where it kept going back and forward.
Yeah.
Whereas the first movie is just the kids.
Right.
The second movie is just the
Them adults, yeah.
But they keep sprinkling in bits of the kids because that was the good bit.
Yeah.
So my point is that if you like the first movie, you should maybe see this one.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the first one, definitely don't see this one.
Oh, no, I won't.
This one was bad.
I won't watch it before it.
This was bad compared to the first one.
Right.
It's like
But it was good because of the first one.
It was maybe. But it was like
And that's okay, I guess.
I just don't find things scary where it goes, boo, creepy clown.
Yeah,
That's not scary.
It's jump scares.
Yeah, it's like you got this, you go,
Yeah, I'm okay again.
Like there's this one creepy scene, I can't give you there's one creepy scene where the girl character is in this house with this creepy old lady and she's like looking that way at the camera and behind her it's all dark and you just see this creepy lady just walk behind.
Trope, yeah.
She's just like
it's a horror
walking.
movie trope, yeah.
Yeah, but it's scary, it's subtle. Like she just like peers out the side like this.
Yeah.
And then she turns into this big googly monster and comes running out like this. It's like, well, you ruined it. All that tension is just gone.
Correct.
But that was
the payoff wasn't worth the tension. Yeah.
So that was fun. We saw it at IMAX.
Was that good for that sort of movie?
If you have epilepsy, I wouldn't go.
I saw The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I did as well.
Dark Knight. Did we go to that?
Nah, I went with my cousin, but I remember they sold that to a lot of idiots like us because they
But it
kept
was
saying...
fucking mad, though.
They did, but they kept saying, filmed with IMAX cameras.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I better go see it with IMAX.
It was fucking good, though. The best part, though, was right at the start, that shot where Batman's standing on the edge and the camera goes like this and it looks down to the floor. That's the best shot because you get this actual feeling of falling because it's so full and real and crisp and good quality. But from then on, it was kind of just like seeing the movies.
I don't like IMAX.
I mean, I've been a few times, but I don't really know whether I like it or not. I think
Yeah.
it's just I don't know.
I don't.
Is it worth it? Like, how
No.
much is it?
$30.
Oh, it's not that
So
bad.
it's $20 more than going to the
cheaper
normal-
than Gold
sorry,
Class.
It's $10 more than going to normal cinemas.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's cheaper than Gold
no,
Class.
I know, but it's just I don't know. The screen's just huge.
It's huge, yeah.
and you're like this the whole time.
Well,
fucking-
I forgot to mention it on the last podcast. When I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, we had to get front row seats because that's
Oh.
all was left. So, and it was front left. So I'm like this.
That's why you didn't
the
like the
whole
movie.
Like,
That's
so-
terrible.
I know, it sucked.
I book every time I go to the movies. I book online before I go.
yeah.
and book my seat.
I know. Well, we didn't. Simple as that. This time we didn't, and we fucking paid the price.
Sucked in.
Yeah, go on.
It was whatever. And IMAX is annoying.
Okay.
I sort of don't like going to the movies and having what's the thing, like 3D glasses.
Yeah.
Like,
Was it 3D?
no, it wasn't. I'm just saying.
So
I had it on the tip of my brain. Not naive. What's the thing when they like? I can't remember.
I don't know what the
No,
fuck
no,
you're
I do.
talking about.
I do remember. I can't think of the word. I'm fucking an idiot. That's why.
But what are you talking about?
I don't like it when you go to see a movie and the movie is so shit that they have to bank it on
Yeah.
something
yeah,
else.
Yeah,
Like-
novelty.
Novelty! That's exactly what I was thinking of.
So you had to wear glasses at it.
No, I'm just saying in general. Not at it. It was in 3D.
Okay.
But I'm just saying IMAX.
What's a different experience?
Big screens. The
That's-
novelty of shit. I don't like
I don't
that.
know. I don't know whether it's a novelty
On a
because
screen like that gives you fucking epilepsy, it's a novelty. The screen doesn't have to be that big.
But 3D films, the difference of them is that they're shot in 3D and that you watch them in 3D.
Not
That-
yeah.
I don't
so-
know
so
whether
they're not
that's a
good
novelty. That's the purpose.
Yeah, so it's not there to be a good story or good movie. It's just there to see pretty things come
Correct.
towards your face.
Yeah.
And that's okay if it's like a nature show.
Yeah.
But
But when they make the other... like I saw Final Destination in 3D and it
Yeah.
was the fucking worst.
but I'm also thinking of the
That was a
Blue
novelty.
People movie. James Cameron, Blue People,
Avatar.
Yeah.
Avatar. We
It's
both
like-
said that like retards.
People were
Jizzing over it.
yeah. It was a terrible story.
It wasn't
and
a
it was
good
an average movie.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sure the CGI artists were brilliant. But it's like the
But
3D.
I don't know whether... I think the 3D was a concept while they were shooting it. They were like... it was planned that way. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
we're doing this because the movie sucks and we know it's not that good. It was part of the package from
Yes.
from early.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that's a novelty or not because you can still
I think
try and
it
make
is.
a good movie in 3D. You can still aim to make a good movie in 3D.
Yeah, I think, like, for example, you wouldn't go see Godfather in 3D.
Why would you?
Correct.
Yeah, but Avatar's about things popping out at you.
That's the thing. So it's not a movie to be taken seriously. It's something just to entertain your eyeballs.
Well, that and I'm sure James Cameron, when he was making it, was trying to make a good movie.
Yeah.
But he was also trying to make things pop out, yeah.
Yeah. I just
So I
don't,
don't know
like
if it's
I don't like the novelty of that crap. Some people
I don't
froth
know.
it.
Yeah, I know, but I still don't know whether you can call it a novelty. You can call aspects of it novelty aspect, but I don't know if you can call the 3D part of it unnovelty because it was intentional from the start. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Okay. So I went to Adelaide to see Pat.
That's a shame.
Pat lives there.
Pat's good. Adelaide, though.
So, yeah. I don't mind Adelaide. I actually
Yeah.
don't mind it. I don't mind it. But so he's working there for Basketball South Australia. He works as a he goes to all the regional areas and checks in with their bloody leagues and makes sure that their standards are all right and, you know, what are you missing? How can South Australia basketball help and blah, 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 blah. So that's why he's in South Australia, in Adelaide. So I went there to visit him because I haven't seen him for a few months. And that was good. We got sauced. We watched the basketball when we got to this sports bar and ate a lot of chicken wings and drank like 5 jugs of beer between the two of us. We were fucked. Worst hangover the next day. But I caught the plane over there, and fuck, the two chicks that were sitting behind me were the most standard conversation. I'm like, are you friends or do you just exist together?
What was their conversation like?
One of the
I was thinking
chicks-
they were talking about The Bachelor or something.
No, not that.
Not even that deep.
No, it was like, so they'd be like, just a reminder to have your seatbelts on when you wear the seatbelt signs. And the chick was like, seatbelts. And that's the conversation.
How old were they? Yeah, you were
25, 30.
Yeah.
And it's like, they had nothing else to talk about apart from what was happening around them.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you friends? I wonder if one of them, because definitely one of them was doing that more than the other one. One of them was just everything that was said over the loudspeaker, she just repeated.
repeat it,
It's
yeah.
like, what the fuck? I was sitting there, I had my music on because I couldn't bear it, but I heard parts of it and I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
What are you trying to add?
I do. I
Are
find
you
it.
feeling in silence?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Being
Uncomfortable,
being uncomfortable.
have no self-confidence.
I know people
I don't know,
that
man.
it reminds me of some people I know that if it's quiet, they've just got to fill the space up with
can't
anything,
stand it.
with any words.
Humming. But you're not humming it. You know the people that hum but don't hum a tune? They just do like, It's like,
Just be quiet.
shut the fuck up. But like, what are you? Yeah, that's purely filling in silence.
Yeah. I like people who also have nothing to say but latch on to other people's conversations.
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of.
Oh, that does my fucking head in.
So it's like I was talking to somebody about the Game of Thrones books,
Yeah.
and someone interrupted,
Yeah.
and goes, "What book were they? I think it was something like, oh yeah, I'm reading the Johnny Farnham book."
Thanks for
like-
derailing our fucking
Yeah,
conversation.
and like I stopped, and I was like, "Oh yeah." Anything
I know. What
else?
did you expect?
But like,
yeah,
what next?
Yeah.
Go on.
I don't know what you wanted to happen
I've
here.
been doing that a bit lately, and
They want you to ask about. They
No,
want to.
see,
They
they
want to
don't
feel
know-
important. I think.
I don't know, or involved. I've been doing this a bit lately. Now, generally, the females sometimes do this, where they'll say words just to fill space.
Yeah.
And I'm being vague. I'm being
I
vague.
think I have noticed that females do it more than males.
I'm
to be
I'm
honest.
being vague, but they're like, they would be like, we'd be talking about something, and they'd be like, "Oh well, that's the way it is." They said
Yeah.
nothing the whole time, but
Yeah,
then they go,
yeah.
"Oh well, that's the way it is," and I'll go, "What's the way it is?"
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, I
Well,
know.
the way that it is. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, but go on.
Yeah,
What?
please extend the
Or are you
conversation somewhat.
Are you just adding your voice to the world
Yeah.
so that everyone knows you're alive? We know
Yeah,
you're.
yeah.
Like, what do you go
Yeah.
on? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my mum does that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, people
Like-
I'm related to might do it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like. But do you know what's funny? I've noticed. The other thing is that I've worked with people that have done the just gonna fill out this form.
Narrate their life.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going to send this email and then I've got to go and have lunch.
Yes.
Why are you telling?
Why are you telling
Why
anybody?
are you telling me?
Yeah.
What? Do you want me to say who are you sending the email
Yeah,
to?
do you want
Is
me
that
to
what you
engage
want?
or not? Yeah.
Tell me who you're sending. If it's important, I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
If you want to tell me that you're sending an email for a reason, not just for the sake of telling me that you're sending an email. Everyone sends emails. Well, you're not fucking special.
I got someone that I deal with that does that. They'll call and I will talk about whatever they need to do, whatever we need to do. And then they go, yeah, because I'm heading down to the beach this weekend. And then after that, I think Saturday I'm going to go for a bike ride. Sunday I'm catching up with William. I can't wait. I haven't seen him for a while. It'd be good to have a chat with him. And yeah, I think on Saturday night my son's coming around. I'm like, cunt, am I in this conversation? Am I here? Or could this be anybody?
What is this?
What is it? Or
What's
should I just
happening right now?
hang up and you'll still be going? But some people definitely do it because it's themselves
I know.
checking off shit on their own list in their brain because they can't fucking keep it inside
Yeah,
their head.
it's so fucking weird.
There is people.
But
who
yeah,
are-
my mum and my auntie and my nan. So it must be something
Ladies do it more. I mean, not to generalise, and please, I'm sorry, but they do it.
Don't apologise.
Can we talk about not apologising? Or keep going?
They do the to finish off a conversation even though it's still going anyway, or like that's just the thing about it.
Yeah, I do anyway a little bit. I'll go.
Yeah, but that's because you want the conversation to move.
Yeah,
you don't want it. You don't want it. But some people say it just to say something.
Yeah.
I think it could be like or it's like
in Italy they do allora.
Allora.
Did you never notice that?
I didn't notice it.
I didn't notice it until I did notice it. Like Italians, like I can't speak Italian, but they'll be like allora, allora, and allora's like and then, like
and
so
then.
or how it.
Anyway,
I think I said. Stop me if I've said this already, but this is one that men generally do, but some ladies can do it too. When you are talking to them. And it's the start of the conversation, and they go listen.
Do you say ladies to try and make it sound less?
I don't want to be offensive. I don't want to.
You can say like chicks or girls or something.
What do you mean,
ladies?
Chicks? What do you mean? Am I just a chicken? I don't know.
I don't know. I just love how you call them ladies. I don't think you ever would any other time.
I once had someone ever had a go at me because I said,
that's right.
I said girl or something.
Yeah,
what do you mean girl? She's a woman. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, lady, and they say. But I've had the opposite one where I said woman, and the lady was like, she's a lady, and I was like,
what the fuck?
How do you know?
But what is the difference?
Is a woman? It's a descriptive word. Surely.
Is woman derogatory to?
I think
females?
Lady means more proper.
Yeah.
Like if you're a lady, then you're a proper.
Yeah.
So
I
agree, thought I was, and then it's the opposite. If you say lady, they go, she's a woman. It's like,
it doesn't.
I don't
matter,
know
man.
whether it's
it wouldn't
like,
matter if that kind of person.
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't matter.
I know.
It's the same as the funny one where they're like, you say guys.
Yeah.
So there's a girl here. Yeah, and she's included in that.
It's a general word.
Yeah. Fuck. You now forgot what I was going to say.
Apologising, you wanted to get on to.
I did, but I wanted to say something else. Oh, that's right. Yes. Men do this.
Yeah.
But sometimes women/ladies can do it too. Mm-hmm. Is when you're starting a conversation and they'll go, yeah, listen. Yeah, I am.
Yep.
Like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, good. Oh, listen. I'm like,
yeah.
What am I doing? What else am I doing but listening to you talk, you idiot?
Do you know Europeans say that sort of stuff as well? Or listen, all right, so I had this guy. Yeah.
So what'd you do today? Yeah, it wasn't bad. Oh, listen though. I never wasn't.
I know.
I never wasn't. Just get on with it.
Please.
Fucking.
Yeah. And I think there's a thing where people always have to set up the conversation that they're about to have.
Yeah, get ready for this.
Yeah, or it's even like I think we do it sometimes so that we don't offend people or something like that. But there's like so I was having this thought the other day. It's like, okay, everyone has thoughts all the time. Yeah. That's what leads to that leads to words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. I still think that's okay because I like when I sort of tell a story, I don't mind building it up a little bit like that. I don't know. It's just like listen adds nothing.
Listen.
Like I already am. It's like that's the equivalent of like instead of saying
talk here.
Instead of saying listen, you're there sitting down. It's like me coming in and saying sit.
Yeah.
I am. Already. It's like put a t-shirt on.
Yep.
I am.
I'm going to talk in a second.
Yeah.
I'm talking now.
My ears are working. Yeah.
So I know. Fuck.
Bill Burr's podcast. Stand up. I've only seen half of it.
I love him.
I love him.
It's not his best. It's not his best, but fuck, I love him.
It's like remember when I said the other week about how Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like 8 or 9 in compared to current movies, but it's like a 5 in compared to maybe his movies.
Yeah, so you're going to compare to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Deb made a really funny point because we watched Bill Burr together and she was pissing herself. She didn't.
And Bill Burr is more.
Hang on. I'll say it because
he's more not anti-women, but he's more jokey about women than Dave Chappelle is.
Yeah, so Deb's thing was like Bill Burr's like someone's dad.
Yes.
In the fact that he says things because he's super angry, and he's just an angry old cunt.
Yeah, he's
So
ranting
that's
and that.
okay for some reason. Whereas Dave Chappelle seems more calculated, and I'm like,
They're both calculated.
they are both calculated. But Deb's like, he seems more calculated, and his intent, and both their intents are to piss people off,
No, they're not. They're comedians.
right?
Their intent
But
is
they
to make
want-
people laugh.
Yes, but to also start conversations.
I don't think-
Otherwise,
I
they wouldn't
think-
be political comedians. They wouldn't. I'm telling you, if they didn't want to
They
piss
would do
people
it
off,
no. A comedian isn't. A comedian's goal is not to piss people off.
right?
It's
But
to
they
make
wouldn't
them
be
laugh.
political comedians
It's because that shit is funny.
it is.
He even
But
says
the people that are too scared would just talk about. I saw this guy down the road and he fell
did that.
over.
Yeah, but Seinfeld did that. Seinfeld was always apolitical. Like, he was still funny. You can be a non-politically
can, but
funny
I'm
comedians, but surely their
But
first goal
the
is to make
intent-
people laugh.
Yeah, of course.
And-
but
and
they
like you-
know
like
by
you-
pissing people off, other people will laugh at it.
Nah.
Yes.
I don't think so.
That's part of it, 100%.
It might be part of it.
It is.
But
That's
it's
what I'm
also
saying.
because most people like laughing at the shit they're not supposed to laugh at.
Yes,
Like,
that's true.
Yep. I nearly can make my mum laugh every time by saying I'm going to like kill myself. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I was so bored I was going to fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
She'll laugh every time.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure she would not like that to happen.
I know.
But that's the funniest thing to her, generally.
Yes, yeah. No, you have a good point in the fact that people like to laugh at things they feel like they shouldn't be laughing at. But I still think both Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr know that their comedy is going to piss some people off. So they pander to
yeah.
it more. But all we're saying is Dave Chappelle's style is different to Bill Burr's. And what Deb said was like, Dave Chappelle is like, his thing is, I'm saying things that completely push the boundaries. Bill Burr's boundaries are a little bit closer to what's acceptable, and the way that he delivers it is like he's just an angry, ranting dad.
Yeah.
Whereas Dave Chappelle is like, I'm saying things that are fucking racist because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can still agree that the first point of call is to make people laugh.
It's their job.
Yeah, because he says it even in the last stand-up. He's just like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, I was told by, to make jokes about the transgender thing anymore, but you got to admit, it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
The Bill Burr, I watched Dave Chappelle crying.
Yeah.
I watched.
See,
I
I laughed.
I watched Bill Burr smiling. Nothing made.
Really?
I'm only halfway through it.
Maybe.
Nothing made me laugh.
Do you reckon there's something in the act of watching something with someone that you
You
bounce
feed
off?
off it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes provides a really good environment
Yep.
when you're watching stand-up comedy. See, I don't a
That's
lot
why
of the
generally
time.
going to comedians, you end up
Correct.
laughing your ass off.
Yeah,
'Cause
and I also, I don't. I mean, I have seen shit comedy where I was like, I've seen comedy that's fucking hilarious and I'm crying laughing, and I've seen stand-up comedy where I was like, it's funny, but like I don't care.
Yeah.
It won't make me remember it, but there's something in that. I watch some stand-up by myself, and I will only chuckle to myself.
Yeah, and I
even if I
watched-
think it's really funny.
I watched Bill Burr by myself, and I was
And who'd you watch Dave Chappelle with?
by myself as well.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, I was just
Yeah.
waiting on it.
Yeah,
Dave
see, I think
Chappelle-
I would have laughed more if I was by myself with Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle just, I don't know, it was just like, he just put me in like a blanket and he's like, come here. And I'm just like, at his teat.
It's like, I'm
like,
going to give you exactly what you
This
need.
is hilarious and brilliant.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
Bill Burr, and I, not in a billion years could I, like I said about Quentin Tarantino, you give me a billion years, I could never make a movie that good.
Yeah.
Give me a billion years, I could never do stand-up. But
You could do stand-up.
But the Bill Burr, I could never do it as good as Bill Burr ever in a billion years.
It takes practice, though.
Yeah. The Bill Burr, though, it was an element of this isn't that clever. Like, I think there was a joke he made where he said and it was only a passing joke. It wasn't like a big joke. It was like he wants to drive past a feminist rally and yell out the window, get back in the kitchen to watch him go mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Like
That's probably been done before,
An
yeah.
11-year-old could have made
Yeah,
that
yeah,
joke.
yeah, I know.
Whereas Dave Chappelle, every joke, I was like,
So the point of that joke is purely to see
It got a laugh.
to see who he could piss off.
It also
he
got a
knows-
basic laugh.
It did.
It got an easy laugh from an idiot. who's
Correct.
going, "Oh, women are stupid. Like,
Yeah.
it got an easy laugh
Correct.
from that.
But also part of that is, let's see with this joke that is clearly stupid.
But it's also but it's low effort joke.
Yeah, but he could have also not said it based on the fact that it was too base level.
Yeah.
So I think that the reason why he would have said that one specifically is that he goes in his head. He goes, "This is stupid. I'm going to say this and see how many people laugh, and also see how many people get offended." And you saw what happened. He goes, "I see what sort of crowd I've got in tonight." Where if they go silent, he's like, "Fuck off, England."
Yeah.
You know, who do you fucking think you are?
He's done that a bit.
There's a point to that so that he can then swear at the crowd.
Yeah. But he has done that numerous times. I've seen his stand up
that's part of his shtick.
where he goes he was talking about women, and he's like, "Why did it get all quiet in here all of a sudden?" He's done that a lot. It's
funny.
Yeah. I love Bill Burr. I reckon he's great, and I also really love him on the Joe Rogan podcast. Because all the comedians Joe Rogan gets on there are all sucking his dick.
Yeah.
Bill Burr's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah.
He's better than Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So and he's not in his clique. So he goes back at Joe with some stuff.
Anyone
when-
that has the balls to challenge Joe Rogan's opinion, because they'll also ask for his opinion. People that are good will say, "Hey, I've had this thought. What do you think of this?" Blah blah blah. And then Joe Rogan, because that's part of his thing, to follow on the conversation, try and see what more he can get out of that person from that topic. He'll just keep talking, and then someone like Jordan Peterson was like, "Hang on, you're wrong there. What you've said is okay, but here's what's wrong with your argument."
Yeah.
So the people that are good at that, like Bill Burr, Jordan Peterson, that's
Yeah.
why they're the most interesting people to have on the podcast, the ones that people go back to, because they go, "You're wrong there, but what you're thinking is what a lot of people think."
Yeah.
And here's why.
Totally. The Bill Burr one I was more thinking is Joe Rogan always talks about how comedy is just the best it's ever been and rah, rah, rah. And when he was saying that to Bill Burr was like, "Nah, not really."
Yeah.
It's like, not really. He's like, everybody gets a friggin' special now. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Getting a special was fucking special. Richard Pryor got a special. Eddie Murphy got a special.
Yep.
Carlin got a special.
Yep.
Now, and as an example, like Brendan Schwab, an ex-UFC fighter, he got a special.
Yeah.
Like, I could do that.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, like, I think anyone that works hard enough can do something, whether you're successful at it, and even if you are successful, for what reason you're successful. It's like music. You can play any sort of music you want. You're good or you're shit. Some shit people get famous.
Yeah.
And you're liked, but probably not because of your music.
No.
Probably because of who you are.
Yeah,
So
the way you look as well and that.
Yeah, and there's probably that with a lot of those stand-up specials is like, let's give them a special just because they have something about them. But that's also, I mean, I kind of disagree. I agree with the fact that it was special, which is why it's called a special, but I think it's still really cool and good for creative people at the moment.
Yeah, that we have Netflix and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ease of access to anything, the cost of entry to do something is way lower than it ever has been, which for creative people, comedians are creatives.
Yeah.
Right? So that it's a good thing on the whole
Yep.
that it is easier to get it. But the other side to that is there's just oversaturation.
Yeah.
So how do you figure out exactly what the fuck you want to actually listen to or watch?
Yeah. And an example of that is like, if
That's
this was
not
15...
necessarily good for society.
Yeah, if this was 15 years ago, like Stranger Things would have never been made.
Yeah.
It got shut down by all the major networks, and then Netflix is like, fuck it, we'll make it, and then people loved it. But they should just call those stand-up specials. They should call them something else. Stand-up
comedy.
Stand-up thing.
Yeah.
And then when Dave
Show.
Chappelle does one,
Show.
it's like, no, this is special. And Bill Burr does one, no, this is special.
Yeah.
Like I love Theo Von.
I've never heard of him.
I love him. He's hysterical. But he has a special on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
It's getting stale.
nearly he should have a special. No, yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's great and he's a genius and he's hysterical, but yeah. Fuck, what were we going to say? Oh, music, right? So you did your little solo gig last weekend?
I did.
How'd it
I
go?
played. Yeah, it was fucking good.
How long did you play for?
Played for half an hour. We got 55 payers through the door, which
That's
is
good.
fucking good.
Just to see your fucking head, so that's good.
No, not just for me. 55 in total for the whole gig. So there's
So it was other
four
solo
bands.
people?
Four bands, yep. But 55 is good. For a Saturday afternoon show, that's like pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'd say probably maybe a third to half of the people were there for us, which was sick.
So I thought you were doing solo.
Yeah, but I had a band for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So you're like
I got
Prince.
Trav, Eddie, and yeah, kind of Trav, Eddie, and Craig. So yeah, it was good. I had such a good day though. It was sick weather. They had an area out the front of the bar where you could sit and drink beers. So we did that after we finished playing. Had a fucking hilarious interview with this community radio station.
That's good.
And I listened to it and they cut most of the funny shit out because I was just taking the piss.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. What the fuck? Like,
What's this going to
the
benefit?
point of me in this band is so that my music's not on my computer and now it's out into the world so that anyone that wants to listen can. I'm not trying that hard. It's not a focus of mine. I'm writing music, so why not have
you
it out there?
enjoy writing the music. Yeah.
And why not have it out there instead of on my computer? That's
Yeah.
it. So anything for me is a bonus.
Yes.
So playing a gig's a bonus, right? But I have put effort into going to band practice and playing the gig is
But you also,
effort.
yeah.
So I get something out
But
of
enjoy
it.
it. You're not dreading doing it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we've got a community radio station here who's interviewing all the bands. I'm like, it's going to be fun. So we all sat down, just fucking took the piss.
Yeah.
Was not taking it seriously whatsoever
That's
because
sick.
that was more fun.
Yeah, good.
Yep. And I think I will continue to do that if there is ever any more interviews.
They won't interview ever again.
Good. It's fine.
Because about music and that, right? You're the best musician I know.
Okay. Thank you.
Personally, you know, not a wide net. it's really you or me in that conversation.
Bo plays guitar.
Bo, who else? Yeah.
Sorry, Bo. I didn't mean to say that I'm better than you.
We've talked about this slightly before, not on the podcast. What do you think, as a musician, about
Sick cunt.
those people who say, like, about Elvis, like, stealing music? Do you have any...
Stealing music. I don't know that people say stole music.
They do.
Stole from black people.
From black people, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be that person that steals something. I mean, Aussie hip-hop stole hip-hop from America.
Yeah.
So are they stealing it or are they just doing their version of it?
I know. I think the word stolen is used because there's a race thing. You know, Elvis was white.
Yep.
But that whole...
That's like Eminem stealing hip-hop.
That's what I'm getting to.
Right.
It's like, but just with Elvis first. I had a discussion with a kid, and yeah, he was saying Elvis stole music. I'm
Yeah.
like, stole from who?
Well, if
and he's like, well, from black people. I'm like, from the whole
But
community.
did he steal the music?
That's what I mean.
Did he
I'm like,
steal the songs?
which song did he steal? And he's like, he never wrote any of his own songs, which he didn't.
So a lot of people don't write their
Correct.
own songs.
Yeah.
So-
but do you have any thought? Do you have any?
If he did steal music from it, I don't like that. It's like a comedian stealing jokes.
Right,
Same
but he
sort of thing.
didn't. He paid
How
for
do you
every
know?
song. Let's just say he paid for every song.
Well,
but that's not the point.
No, he didn't pay for it.
That's not. What do you mean?
Why would he have paid for it?
The song he can buy. He doesn't. He buys the songs off.
Nah,
I think Heartbreak Hotel. The writers of it gave it to him,
Yeah, but that he didn't buy it. So they're songwriters.
and they get the credit.
They get the credit.
Correct.
They get the
Yeah.
royalties.
Yeah.
So he would only get paid for playing shows.
Yeah.
Same these days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But you don't pay. Well, sometimes you pay for like these days. You pay for beats if you're a rapper, because the producer, that's their job. They create the beats and they sell them to rappers.
But now
right?
the rapper owns it.
But the difference is, if you're a songwriter, you may get paid by the label, but you're not getting paid by the artist. I guess the artist has to pay back the label a lot of the time as well. I don't know. There's different ways, but just because you wrote the song doesn't mean that you sell the song.
let's just
Sometimes
say not
you
sell.
do.
I'm using the wrong words, but
All right.
get the rights to the
okay,
profits or whatever.
Right.
He always
So it wasn't him then.
he was the voice of the song.
Yeah.
But because he was the face and he's Elvis Presley, the greatest
yeah.
pop star of all time, there's just a big thing now where it's like he stole the music from that black community.
Right.
And it's like he lived in that community
Yeah, he
too.
did. He was from Mississippi, right?
He was a dirt poor...
Mississippi?
Yeah. South, something.
South.
He was a dirt poor...
Georgia.
I don't know. He was a dirt poor white person who was influenced by,
black people.
rock and roll.
Yeah.
And then wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, yeah. They're trying to tarnish him a little bit.
Blues music came from the swamps, right?
Mm.
That's sounding mean, but it's actually genuinely true. Like
Also
Alabama and stuff like that.
They had the slave songs.
But
and
that's not blues. That's just songs that they would sing. It's kind of like a nursery rhyme in a way that it just goes down from generation to generation. But what would happen was the guitar was born. So I don't know that it was that expensive to actually make a guitar because you can make it out of wood.
Yeah.
And if you can somehow get strings or whatever, or you can make strings out of other stuff, fishing wire potentially. So eventually, obviously, guitars aren't that expensive to have. So it was easy for a poor black person to get a guitar. So they would get the guitar and they would sing these songs that they've always sung when they're, doing stuff as their slaves or whatever, but they would put it on the guitar. And it was always really soulful and dark and moody and, the lyrics were about being a slave and all that sort of stuff. And then I think Elvis was one of the first white people to be famous for playing blues. So that's where it comes from. And I think a lot of people say that he stole it.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying that, it's like...
It's just a way to cause outrage. It's the media. I don't know.
It's not.
What do you want me to say?
It's just... I don't know. I'm asking whether you think he stole music.
No.
Yeah.
No one... I don't... Unless you intentionally steal music, then you haven't stolen
Like
music.
Led
you
Zeppelin or
just influenced.
something.
And Led Zeppelin have stolen music.
Yeah.
Small Faces, I think, and Muddy Waters.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of artists out there that have stolen music.
But it's coming, like, my point with this person was, it's like, you're only saying he stole it because of the
that's
color.
what you've heard.
Yes, because I said that. I was like, and what next? And there was nothing next. He heard that line, Elvis stole music. Yes, I'm going to latch onto that.
People don't
What's
challenge
the next
that.
part?
Yeah, correct.
There is no next part. He stole music.
Yeah.
Well, come on. There's got to be a next
you
part.
have to have a
Gotta back
belief
this
about
up.
this. Yeah, exactly.
And the only backing up was, the colour of his skin.
Yeah.
So if his skin was a different colour, it wasn't stolen anymore.
But
even though he lived in that area.
Bet my money on the fact that the black people wouldn't have given a fuck at that time that he was singing this music. Because he grew up there, he would have been surrounded by people that were playing that music. So
and that's
sweet. That's it.
Yeah, and that was my point. I was like,
So I don't think that they would have given a fuck.
Yeah, you don't know, but that's what I said to this guy. I was like, he grew up there. It
When
wasn't
you
like he came from fucking New York or something.
Yeah, I think because he was white though, I think the record label would have been
Correct.
more appealing for him.
Absolutely.
So it's like, why didn't you give the black person a record label?
Yeah, that's an argument. Yeah,
Yep.
you can definitely say that. You could probably say that now, and you could definitely say it back then.
Yeah.
But it's like, if Elvis didn't do it,
Some other white guy.
other white guy would have, or someone, or maybe not.
Talent,
or
right?
maybe no one would have. Like,
maybe, but eventually they would have.
yeah,
Because, I mean, everything happens. You can't. This argument. I haven't finished mine yet. I don't like this. There's two things that I don't like. I don't like the argument of it was fate and it was going to happen, but on the other side, of course, it was going to happen. So, yeah, do you know what I mean by that? Like, I don't like when people say
it was meant to happen.
It was meant to happen. It's
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? Because everything already is predetermined by the fact that it didn't happen another way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
isn't saying that the same as when you see these stupid athletes saying like, "Oh, I want to thank God." You want to thank God that you trained every single day?
Yeah, exactly. That's my argument to that. It's like, you did this. Take ownership for something good that you did.
That you worked hard
Don't
at.
say that God did it.
Yeah.
God gave me this talent. No, you just have a talent.
He might have. Like, there's some people with a God-given talent, but you still got to work at it. You still got to work.
You do. 100%.
You got to work at it because, you could shoot hoops.
You can waste talent.
Yes, but my point is, you could shoot hoops for 10,000 hours. You're never going to be LeBron James.
Correct. Yeah, you have to have,
element, but you sort of work at it.
Yeah. Okay. So you've still said two different things. So
I've said two different things, but they equate to the same thing.
The way people use the words is what you're saying is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't like, because I agree with the fact that what's meant to be will be. I agree with that 100%. But saying it was meant to happen, I don't agree with it. So fucking that's nothing. What you've just said is nothing.
I always think of that when I hear. I remember reading John Densmore's book. John Densmore, drummer of the Doors.
Okay, yeah,
John Densmore, I think is his name.
Don't know.
I remember reading his book when I was young, and he said about Jim Morrison how they knew they were always going to make it. They just knew they were always going to make it, and it was going to happen. And I always like that, and I always think of that. I'm like, how many people also thought that and are now working at Coles?
Dude, I see it all the fucking time, dude. Working at a recording studio. Yeah. Do you know the amount of people? And like, I'm not talking shit because it's just a fact. People, when they don't have exposure to the way things actually happen, and all they believe is that you just need talent to get famous. There's so many of those people, but do you know why? It's because they hear of people like Post Malone who get famous because they put a song up on SoundCloud, they were nobodies, and overnight
it blew up.
So they hear this stuff that because of the internet, it can happen. Yeah. But it's not going to happen to you unless you work hard.
But even if you work hard, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, but if you work hard, the more opportunities are offered to you. It's
then that gets
easy.
That gets into the whole thing about...
Not easy. I mean, the word is it makes sense that the more opportunities you give yourself to succeed, the more likely you are to succeed.
And that's why I like the old...
Doesn't mean you will.
No, that's why I like the old cliche saying of like, there's no such thing as luck, but you do make your own luck.
And it's the same as fate.
But you do make, you know what I mean? Like you make your own luck.
But you don't make your own luck though.
I think you do.
I don't know whether it's luck though. I don't think that word is appropriate.
But like, let's say that you sing in a song in Doncaster Shopping Centre and someone comes along and gives you a record contract, you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
It's like, that's lucky. But you made that happen by putting yourself in that position. That's what I mean.
So, but you cannot bank on luck to get you famous.
Absolutely.
Which people do. People do. People talk.
Yeah, but a people bank... See... not enough credit, because let's say you record someone and you put it out there and they're like, this is going to get us famous. They're still making their own luck. I think it's more luck. I think luck would be when you're sitting at your home 100%. Tossing yourself off and someone comes and knocks on the door. But you still had to
upload this. If you didn't upload the song, if Post Malone didn't upload that song to SoundCloud, he wouldn't be where he is today. He might be where he is today.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean about making your own luck.
Yeah, but
it was lucky that it blew up.
If you are sitting in your room and you didn't upload it, then there's no chance that would happen.
Right, we're saying the same shit.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. So, but luck is the wrong word. It's not luck. Luck.
It's lucky that his song blew up. In his example,
is it though? Is it? Yeah,
was it brilliant? Was it some fucking brilliant, groundbreaking thing?
I don't know. Yeah, there's an element of luck to that. But it's not like, I think my argument is more that it's like you can't, making your own luck. That's the terminology that I think I'm struggling with, because it's like, you're not making your own luck. You're just putting yourself in more places.
Yeah.
To potentially have.
I think they go hand in hand.
Yeah. I mean,
I think to get famous in any form, you have
to work hard.
Yes, that's a given. But you've still got to be lucky that someone spots you.
Yes.
Like Prince, musical fucking genius. He still could have never got noticed. End of story.
He could have. But I think the chances are exponential once you've been if you're exposed to yourself to as many different areas, it's like social media.
And I think that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's like social media though. It's like social media that people go, they say something like, I'm not going to put my song up on YouTube just because I don't really like YouTube. I don't watch it. It's like, if you want to be a professional and you want to make a career out of this, what's the point of you not doing it?
Yeah.
Like, just because you don't like it, what do you fucking mean? Like, that's so backwards.
Have you had people that have said that?
We have people that say dumb shit all the time.
Like, don't put on YouTube.
Like, no, but maybe something like, I'm not going to do X because I don't think that's the right platform for me. It's like
SoundCloud, for example.
You cannot choose. Yeah, exactly. You cannot choose what is the right platform for you. Everyone else does. Everyone else dictates what's right for you.
You can make that decision when you're as big as Tool.
Correct.
Like Tool, we are not on anything.
Yeah.
But
I think that's partly marketing as well, though.
Yeah, maybe. But now they're on everything.
Correct.
Now it's a big thing. They're on everything.
Because they released their album after they went on everything.
Yeah.
So that everyone would go nuts before they released everything. Yeah. And now everyone listens to it. It's very smart.
Yeah. I mean, because with our current run of things, you've put it on everything. Some sound bean or something. When I Google Marty and Stu, have no clue.
Podbean?
Yeah, Podbean.
That was when I first started it. I was intending us to do that, but you got to pay a lot more money than we pay SoundCloud.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, why do something that you enjoy doing and you want people to maybe see it? Why wouldn't you just put it on whatever?
Put it on everything.
You're not a fucking genius.
Otherwise, but you have to be honest with yourself about what you want from it. You can't just say, I want to be famous and then limit yourself.
Yeah, it's dumb.
What are you doing?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, we see that all the time. Bit of a rant there.
Yeah. I guess it's like if you... This diverted a little bit from me wondering about Elvis stealing music. But yeah, it's weird for you to say that some people with no fan base who maybe want a fan base are picking and choosing the platform as to which to go on to.
Yeah.
It's like, just don't do it then.
But you can't
just
choose.
Play for your friends in your house then.
Exactly right. And that comes back to your expectation about what you want out of it. So you just got to reevaluate. It's like if you're playing music because it's enjoyable and because...
You don't want anyone to see it.
But also, if you use it as a way to get out of your house every Thursday afternoon and play music with your mates, cool, do that.
It's like going to a gym or something.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're not going to be a bodybuilder. You're not going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
And you're allowed to go to the gym and fucking try and lift weights because you might see a bit of size or get a bit healthier.
You might enjoy it or whatever.
Yeah. But you can do it for the fact that you might be healthier and you might look better, but don't have the expectation that you're going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger and you're going to win because you don't get that unless you put in 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day. Like, simple as that.
But even then you probably won't.
Yeah, but you've got a better chance of doing it.
You have a better chance,
you're
but
actually making the effort.
You're making effort. You're working hard.
Yeah.
But it still probably won't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you tell yourself that it's probably not going to happen, then the chances of you working hard for it are going to limit because you're going to potentially talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
So you have to have confidence in what you're doing.
Yeah. I definitely have confidence in what you're doing. That's like not a question. But we've said this from like the start. You've still got to be doing what you're doing because you enjoy it.
Correct. That has to be the main reason.
That's got to be the main reason.
You have to find why you're doing it.
You're not going to make it.
No.
Do it because you enjoy it.
Correct. And everything else is a plus.
Yeah.
But put effort in to get more results. Simple.
The Black Keys were on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how they're just like, a lot of the time they're like, we still can't believe people pay us to watch us do this.
That's the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
You heard about that?
Yeah. I haven't looked at it, but I understand it.
Yeah, it's just the whole, why do people give a shit about me? What worth do I have?
Yeah.
Why are people paying me money to do this? I'm just nobody.
This is average, yeah.
That's the imposter syndrome. I think every human has that. There's a guy, Jack the Bear, who is a mastering engineer. He also does like public speaking and stuff like that. But Ben from the studios does a podcast with him. It's called No Guts, No Glory. And he talks a lot about that. But his explanation of it, because he's obviously looked into it quite a lot, was pretty interesting. And it was about how when you're a child, you can't do anything. So you need your parents to do everything for you or else you're going to die, right? Then you get to like 4 years of age, 3 or 4 years of age, and they start telling you that you have to do stuff for yourself.
Yep.
So from then on, you're always trying to get them to notice you doing things well because you're like, hey, I can do it. But then you finish, you get into high school and shit where everyone thinks you're a fuckwit, and then you're crushed about expectations of the world. Then you go out into the world and then you're like, I'm fucking nobody. Why should anyone care about me, realistically enough? So then when you actually get good at something again and you earn money from it, you're just like, why are people paying me? Because who the fuck am I? So that's really interesting.
Two things there. I also feel that because I can do something, it's like, and everyone can do it.
It should be easy for everyone.
Yeah. Now I haven't got any talent really at all.
I
probably don't.
You do.
But my point is that I think doing this podcast takes zero talent. But maybe some people couldn't do it.
Oh, no way.
I don't know.
No way.
Yeah.
No way could everyone do this.
And
you think everyone could do what we're doing right now?
See, yeah, nearly, yeah.
Yeah, but
like, that's
think
the thing.
about
But yeah, a lot of people don't have anything to
We're
say.
fucking good.
Fuck yeah. The other thing I thought you were going to go for was, because I think about this all the time, is I used to think that adults knew what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah,
adults got
no one knows what the fuck
clue.
they're doing.
They're making it up.
Yeah, everyone
They're making up everything.
Everything.
Like Julia sometimes worries about her job and that, and I'm always like, they're like bears, mate. They're scared of as much as you are. They don't know nothing.
Nah. Everyone's
but maybe
gone.
I'm saying that because I'm an idiot and I don't know nothing. Maybe there are smart people who know things.
Oh, well, of course there are. There are people that are better at things than other people. But you have to acknowledge if you've done hard work and gotten results from it. That's something at least. That's something. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten where you are and you would have been fired already. So there's something there.
Yeah.
Even if it's small, it's still something more than nothing. So you have to admit that.
I reckon that would be a good tagline for the podcast. It's something more than nothing.
That is it. Well done.
Marty and Stu have no clue. It's something more than nothing.
I love it.
That's a good one.
That's the new intro.
Yeah. It's something more than nothing. That's sick. Back on Elvis slightly, yeah. And then I sort of wrote on a little note here about how Eminem couldn't exist today, I don't reckon. He would be shut down in a heartbeat. You're not black. You're not allowed to do this.
But they said that when he came out.
Did they as much?
Yep. 100%.
You got Justin Trudeau there, the Canadian Prime Minister. He was dressing up in blackface back in 2001. You were allowed to do different things back then.
Fucking hell. That's not the same.
It's not the same, but it's the same world. It's changed a lot very quickly.
Eminem never said that he was black though.
No, I know, but he made reference to it. There was that song "Without Me," I think, one of his obviously famous songs.
Yeah.
When he goes, I'm the first person since Elvis Presley to do black music, so officially, something like that.
Yeah, but I think that's
him taking a shot at himself.
Yes, and in jest.
Yeah.
He clearly knows that he's a fucking... And again, he's someone that is saying things to get a reaction.
Yeah.
He's not saying it because it's serious. He doesn't... Like, he knows he's fucking good at what he does. He knows that he's at the height of his game at the point of releasing that song. He's in hip-hop where you talk yourself up. And... Like,
but that was obviously...
And he's doing it to get a rise out of people.
That was referenced in the Marshall Mathers LP when he did those little skits in between the songs, and he goes up to Paul or whatever, his manager, and he's like, you know what Dre's album was so successful? He's rapping about big screen TVs, blunts, 40s, and bitches. You're rapping about homosexuals and Vicodin. I can't sell this record. Get the fuck out of my office. Fucking brilliant. That's the best album.
That album fucking rules.
If not... one of the best albums of all time.
It's very good.
Yes.
Molto bene.
Oh, fuck yeah. But I think in the current climate,
But
it would struggle for
yeah.
unless a white guy came through with the backing of Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg. Or something.
There could be comparisons made. I don't think there's anyone necessarily at a similar. But I've said this before that I don't think that since Eminem there has been any superstars
As big as him.
Yeah, people might
Lady
argue
Gaga?
Ed Sheeran.
Nah, Lady Gaga.
I mean, Ed Sheeran's got the most plays of any song on Spotify
You know what?
ever.
There hasn't been.
I just think, and it could be because we're older.
There hasn't been an Eminem. There's
Michael Jackson.
No. See, every generation had this grouse musician, but who also held some were writing articles about how bad they were for children.
Yeah.
Elvis, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was others. Kiss.
Yeah, Kiss.
Yep.
Eminem.
Pretty much all Aussie, all heavy metal music was all going to kill children.
Yep.
And then Eminem. And I specifically remember being in like year 9, we used to read articles in English or whatever
totally.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
And it would be like if you're from a broken home and you're white and you listen to Eminem, there is an 87.35% chance you're going to shoot up a school. It's like, fuck, I'm going to shoot a school up then because I fit that category. Mm-hmm. But to your point, there hasn't been someone that's been controversial since Eminem.
People don't like pushing the boundaries.
It's unsafe.
It is. But people
come
that
on,
do...
Hold on, can you think of a musician who's been controversial since as big as Eminem?
Bieber.
He wasn't controversial. He was just sleeping with heaps of different Brazilian women.
But he also is a bit of a fuckwit. But not to the height of Eminem, I agree.
But they were writing articles about how Eminem is ruining children.
Yeah. Marilyn Manson before him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. The climate, and it shows in the music that's famous at the moment. The music that's being played on Triple J, and it's not because I'm old. If you listen to Triple J now compared to when we were teenagers, right? So teenagers are listening to the most popular music. When we were teenagers, the most popular music was Eminem, Limp Bizkit, shit that was angry. Fucking people had something to say. If you listen to any of the music that's super popular now, everything's really safe. And Triple J music is super soft. Like there's nothing that's really edgy. There's no edge. And I think that there will be a shift in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
There has to be.
I'm so far out of it. When I think of Triple J and popular music, I think of like Mumford & Sons, right?
Super safe. There's nothing challenging about that music.
Banjo, couple of good-looking white people plucking on a banjo.
And you're about 8 years behind.
I get that.
As well.
Yeah. But that's all I hear.
But you're not wrong.
When I put
that's not challenging music. You might not like it, but it's not challenging.
It's not that I don't like it. But you are right. There's nothing there.
Nothing's really. There's no edge. There's no edge. The most edgy stuff is like metal, I guess.
Metal's always going to be edgy.
Yeah, but it's only because it sounds abrasive and it's hard to listen to. It's not because it's even the lyrical content of metal these days is not angry about things that
devils
might be that might be against what society deems good. People aren't going, this is going to fuck some people up. Let's do this. Musically, but lyrically, no way.
You know what I liked from Eminem's last album? Was it the last one or the one before?
I don't think he's made any good music for a while, but anyway.
The last album was had a couple of good songs. Had a couple of cool songs. The first song on the album was cool.
He's got no hooks anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't sing anymore, which annoys me.
No. And he did that sort of not Jamaican thing for a while, but he used to put a voice on.
But that was for one album. Yeah.
No, he did some cool line where in the Marshall Mathers LP, he does that line, stand the kids from Columbine up in a line with an AK, a revolver, a blah, 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 and shoot them all down or something. And in the album, that whole line is taken, if you listen to the album, that line's gone. It goes, I'll take the kids from stand them all in line with an AK-47, a revolver,
Right.
a 9.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all-
yeah.
And then in the last album, he says
He did
that
it
line,
again?
and he goes, "Let's see if I can get away with it now because I'm not as big as I used to be."
Yeah.
It's like there's,
See,
little,
that's
there's,
good
there's
as.
still little cool things in there.
Yeah, and maybe for that reason, some of his stuff's good in terms of, objectively good, but I don't think as far as songs go.
No, he's not as good as he fucking
No.
Marshall Mathers LP. Even the Eminem show was
He
good.
had about a 10-year span of, I reckon, really good music.
Marshall Mathers undoubtedly the best.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Then the Slim
100%.
Shady LP,
That's got some really good songs. That was his first one.
and then the Eminem show.
Camera's dead. It's focusing on you now. Sweet. Yeah. Eminem show. I didn't, to be honest, I didn't really listen to his albums that much after Marshall Mathers LP. I've
did.
listened to them, but I didn't listen to them.
Yeah,
If you know what I mean.
I still give him a go.
Yeah.
Except for when he did like the Rehab album or whatever it was called.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Anyways, you've got a note
I
here.
feel weird about not being on camera
Do you
now.
want
If
to
I'm
change
being
them?
honest.
Should we pause it?
Yeah, I've got another battery actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So I forgot to say that I can't remember. We were talking about music and Eminem and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Did we finish?
I don't
much.
know. I think I was just sort of I was just thinking that I think these days you wouldn't be allowed to You wouldn't be allowed to be Eminem now.
There would be more of a stigma against it because of the climate of the world.
I mean, you get in trouble now if you pronounce someone as being
he
the wrong.
definitely couldn't get away with as much.
Yeah, no, I still think people would like him. He just there'd be so many barriers.
Big time.
But this comes back to what we were talking about before about apologising. What's your thought on apologising?
Well, I've always just thought the people that get away with it is a weird way to say it. Because it's just having an opinion and standing by it. That's it. What Bill Burr in his stand-up was like, you can fucking say whatever you want. You just have to be okay with the backlash. You know, you potentially will be known as the asshole, but be okay with that because you have opinions. But the people that respect you, see, this is what I always think. The people that respect you for what you say, unless it's actually hurting people, then the people that respect you for what you say because you're saying something that might not be seen as okay, the people that respect you for it are probably more switched on with what you actually mean. Most of the time, not always. Sometimes you might have some fuckwits that think you're talking about fucking a white supremacy or something. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like that you want to bash women or something. It's like, no, I don't want to fucking bash women. I'm just saying blah, 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 or whatever. You know, whatever the case might be. Most of the people that understand what you're trying to say, that respect you for what you're saying, that goes further than some news fucking people going, he's so bad for saying what he says. Don't you think he's bad? He's bad.
You're talking about the project.
Yeah. Whatever.
See, Bill Burr had said, I think on his podcast or Joe Rogan's or something, that he doesn't care about people not liking him.
Yeah.
I'm like that too, but not when it's people that I know. If a stranger goes, if absolute stranger...
But why does that matter? What's the difference?
Because I don't know. I want the people that I know and like to like me. Mm-hmm. If a stranger goes, I found your podcast sexist and homophobic and transphobic and xenophobic and couchophobic, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care about you, and therefore I don't care about your opinion. But I do care about the opinion of people that are in my world. Mm-hmm. And I
there's a chance though that you're going to piss people off if you have
but
extreme
people who know
opinions.
us, people who know us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm eating. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
But-
know, so it's like if someone who actually knows me is like, you're a fill in the blank a phobe. I'm like, fuck, you don't know. You don't know. What are you talking
You don't know
about?
me at all.
Yeah. So when a stranger says it, who gives a fuck what a stranger thinks? But I do care what people in my
The hard
circle
thing.
think. A little bit.
The hard thing.
Unless you're like male, then I don't care what you think.
I think the hard thing when you are talking about things that push boundaries, the hard thing is that people read between the lines.
Well, they think they do.
They think they do. It's more often the things that you don't say.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, but let's say you said you said something
I'm
offensive.
listening to the notes that she doesn't play. I could do that at home.
Yeah. Let's say if you said something offensive that is deemed offensive, whether it is or not,
By
right?
the
whatever,
by who, the project or something.
whatever. And I didn't argue it. Some people could say that I agree with you just because I haven't argued it. It's like, I never said that.
I know, but we're also not doctors. Like, we're in this generally to make each other laugh or the idiot who's listening to this now
But just
laugh.
by saying it and putting it somewhere where a lot of people can hear it, that changes things. Don't you think?
Yeah. But it's also sort of shielded by this isn't meant to be taken that seriously.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
not run-
I
we're not
know
running,
what you mean.
We're not running for government and
Correct.
shit. Like,
But
this
everything
is just a
Yeah,
podcast
the interesting
from
thing there is
from
that
people that you
everything-
might. I sort of think of it like the couple of people who listen and like it. They sort of I don't know. I think they like it because they maybe haven't heard a podcast that sounds like them. Do you know what I mean? The only podcasts that maybe our listeners listen to are Joe Rogan's, where we're going to have Jordan Peterson on. It's like, whereas this is a podcast that sounds like the people who are listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid cunts.
Yeah. I think the interesting about that is if it can be relatable to a lot of people. Yeah. I mean, that's why I love this shit, because it's like all we're doing is speaking our mind. No one says that you have to agree with us.
But are we even speaking our mind? I think we're just. I'm not speaking my mind because I don't know what.
Fuck off!
No. I don't know what my stance is on anything.
You do? So.
No, I don't. I'm
What
telling
do you mean?
I will think of something
And say it. That's your stance.
But it's not my stance. I'm not going to die on that hill. I'm not going to die on the hill of that.
That doesn't mean that it's not your stance.
What is my stance on what?
Opinion.
Yeah, but on a movie or something.
Yeah.
Not on a movie.
On a
yeah.
social topic?
But
We
I
talk
haven't
about social topics.
Yeah, but I haven't got like a stance.
A stance is just an opinion.
But I don't think I've got an opinion. I'll like comment on it and try to make fun of it.
No,
But
I
no,
don't
I've got
know.
a stance. I have no opinion.
Making fun of it means that you're on the opposing side to it.
No, that is fucking wrong.
Oh, yeah, good point.
That is-
But,
It's
no,
completely wrong.
Well, I don't know. If you agree with something...
it
didn't
take no argument. I just said you're wrong. You're like, yeah, good
no,
point.
because I'm thinking about it. If you agree with something, there is less chance that you're going to make fun of it because you agree with it.
Nah.
Why?
Nah.
I don't know about that.
I can think
If
of
you
my
ag-
own. I can think of from my own shit jokes. Like I got a friend of mine who is gay, and we had a bucks party, and a stripper came, and when the stripper left, he couldn't find his phone. He was looking everywhere through the couches for it and couldn't find it. And this friend of mine's like, where's my phone? We're looking, couldn't find it. And he goes, fuck, do you think the stripper took it? Right? And I go, oh yeah. She's so upset that you won't look at her because you're gay. She stole your phone,
Yeah.
right? Joke.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
room
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
laughed.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm anti him.
No, but
gay. It's a joke.
yeah, no.
So you can joke about things you agree with.
Yeah, but of course you can. But I'm saying your opinions. I'm not talking about your jokes. I'm talking about your opinions. You have opinions.
On what?
Films on fucking
Right, films. Yes, that's safe. Yeah,
Cool.
films I have opinions on.
So,
But social shit, I generally don't have an opinion on
yeah,
because it's.
and I don't think anyone has ever gotten. I don't think that's why. That's why I don't think anyone's ever gotten like pissed off at us about anything socially because we haven't said you're wrong
X
for
is
thinking
wrong.
this.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
because I really don't think anything really.
well, I'm
is
sure
wrong.
you do. Whether you share it or not is a different story.
No, I don't. I think the only thing I think is wrong is maybe murder.
What about limiting free speech?
That's generally wrong. It's usually
Yeah.
wrong. But
So
it's
you're not as hardline as Jordan Peterson.
yeah, because it's usually wrong. But free speech free speech doesn't
It's just a
cover
term.
you running into the streets and saying kill all Jews.
Yeah.
You'll get you should
Yeah.
rightfully get in trouble for that.
Yes, absolutely. That's hate speech. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what determines hate speech? And
Yeah.
who dictates what hate speech is and,
And
what
that's
it
correct.
isn't?
Yeah, and then that's where it gets blurred.
That is the blurred line.
because
Yeah.
So because you could run in the street, you could probably run in the street and say kill all men, and probably be okay.
You could say a lot of things.
Yeah, but I'm just picking a murder X as a. If you went if you went straight at kill all women, you'll be in trouble. But if you sort of went kill all men,
I don't know that
you'd
you
be
would
alright.
really. You'd just
If
be
you were a
looked-
mental patient.
You'd be looked at and going, "What
This
the fuck
person's
is
crazy."
Correct. I don't think you'd get in trouble from the cops for saying
don't
kill all women.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't think you would. I don't think that's.
I don't know. Lawyers, can we get a lawyer?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because, and I don't envy people that have to figure that shit out.
I just don't like it
it's
when
separate
people-
to my life. So
Yeah, I guess we both maybe don't like it when
it's because we're
people-
white and straight and male,
and privileged.
privileged. That's why.
I think we both maybe don't like it when those not decisions or thoughts are come up by people who are just hearing the thought from someone else and latching onto it. Sort of like my thing about the friend saying Elvis stole music. It's like
Yeah.
you've just heard that sound.
Yes.
You've heard the sound.
Well,
you've
here's
heard that
something.
sound come out of someone's mouth.
I've got
You've sort
something
of gone,
for you.
that's okay. I'll latch onto that.
I've
but
got
had
something
nothing
for
else
ya.
to say.
When has there been anything in life that someone's done to you because of something that you can't control? When has something like that happened to you that is actually bad?
Well, I wouldn't say bad because I can handle things. But at parade, all the Aussies would call you wog every second day.
Right.
Every day.
But are you jailed for that? For being a wog?
No.
Yeah, that's
But
what.
what are we-
So that's what I mean.
What are we talking about?
Well, in society, the main reason why a lot of groups have things that they want to stand up against, feminists, for example, things like pay gaps and stuff like that, that genuinely affects people's lives in a negative way.
Yeah, but every economist in the world has already discussed why the pay gap exists.
Forget the subject.
It's not as a result of sex.
Forget
though.
the subject. Forget the subject. All I'm talking about is there's things in society, for example, slavery.
Yeah.
You know, black people aren't allowed to sit on the bus at this
What
seat.
fucking year are we talking about?
Right. But I'm talking about that is why groups of people, Black Panthers, come together and say, this is not right. We need to make a stand against this. And if you're the white guy saying the Black Panthers are wrong, they've got no basis for their argument, at that time, it was acceptable to say that, right? But we now know that obviously they had a right to stand up against something. So there's free speech on both sides. But what I'm saying is there's merit to a group of people standing up against things that are wrong.
Yeah.
For us to say, which we don't necessarily say anything's
We've
bad.
never said anything's
correct,
wrong.
which is why I don't, no one gives a fuck about it. But Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Not even in a little bit.
Well, we're not saying things that are of that outrageous.
No.
So what are you worried about?
No, I'm not worried. When the fucking ever the word
You
worried
sound like
the word worried never once came out of me fucking head.
yeah, but if someone that you knew got offended at something that you said, what would they?
What would they?
What would they get offended at?
No, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm speaking.
So why is it affecting you? It sounds like it's affecting you because you're bringing it up.
My point is,
you wouldn't have thought about it if it didn't affect you in some way.
I'm not affected. My point is, this went back to people people putting things out there and being criticised by strangers. I just said I do not care about the opinion of strangers, but I would care if someone I knew thought something negative of me. I'd be like, well, we haven't communicated properly.
Let's change subject. I'm sick of it.
You fucking loser.
So
you got parallel universes written down.
I can't remember. That was fucking months ago, probably.
Spoken about him a bit today, but Joe Rogan had a guy on who was talking about the many worlds theory, which I'm not talking about because I don't understand it. But it was something like every time you make a decision, a new universe is created.
Yeah, it's fucking crock of shit.
It's quantum physics or some shit.
Yeah.
This guy believes it, and he's like a really smart person, as opposed to a div in Bundoora.
Yeah, when I say crock of shit, I haven't done any studies to say. Right,
so just leave it. We'll just leave it. I thought it was interesting how this many worlds theory is that
there's lots of theories.
If someone comes in and says, "Do you want to go bowling?" which we may or may not. If you want to go bowling, you'll say yes. That universe now exists. You'll say no. That universe also exists.
Yeah, yeah. It's too complicated, and I haven't studied it enough to fucking know exactly at all to know what. No, I'm just
saying that because you wrote parallel universes.
What I did want to talk about, I was at the gym this morning, and on the TV they cut off the news so that they could watch ScoMo landing in America and being addressed by the president, or having that president meeting in front of everyone, in front of the crowd.
We never talked about apologising,
blah, blah.
but anyway, we'll get to it.
Yeah. And at the gym, because there's music going on, they have the subtitles. Yeah. And fuck, it's just the most... I mean, imagine being the commentator on the politics, someone landing in another country, and you having to fill in space, waiting for them to walk out. And it reminded me of the cricket. And I was like, why don't they get the cricket commentators to learn a little bit about politics? They could fill in space like that.
Yeah. They could do it.
All cricket commentary is filling in gaps.
Yeah.
There's like one bowl, especially Test cricket, one bowl every 2 minutes, one bowl every 1 minute. They have to fill in 55 seconds in a minute in every minute of shit that they got to talk about.
I watched a bit of the Ashes. They're also allowed to be quiet for a long time. They are quiet for a while. They will say nothing for a while. 5
seconds?
Nah, they give it a bit. They do, honestly.
Not much more than 5 seconds.
I'm pushing more like 20 seconds. They will be quiet, and then someone will bowl, and then it'll be shot. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice shot. Yes. And then the next commentator will come, he has been really on form recently of recent months.
I've noticed though, and not that I don't watch the cricket, but I have noticed that in recent years when I have watched the cricket compared to when I would watch it when we were like teenagers and we'd hang out at Shorty's house or whatever, and the commentary is way more annoying now than it was back then.
They had characters back then. They had Bill and Tony and Richie and.
But why were they characters? I don't know.
They were characters.
Everyone has a personality.
The ones now don't. I think having a personality doesn't win you any favors.
But everyone's got their own personality.
Yes, but everybody knows that they need to not have a
person. It's a desert person.
But everybody knows they need to be a blank sheet so they fit in. And I know we've gone over it 100 billion times, but it's...
Bill would say some fucking outlandish shit when he would commentate.
I was watching a YouTube video of Shane Warne's top 10 wickets. Fucking best YouTube video I've ever seen, right? And the number second wicket for Shane Warne of all time per this countdown was his hat-trick ball back in the 90s.
Yep.
I think Boone took it, like diving catch.
Yeah.
And the commentary from Bill is fucking amazing. He's like, Shane's done it. He's done him, Shane. Oh, he's the best. He's just going off. Whereas now it'd be much more subdued.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was a poor shot by the batsman. And like, whereas
They'd
he
have
was
to
like,
address
fuck
all
that.
angles.
Yeah. But being beige. It was the same sort. It was the same sort of thing with how every single film critic gave Dave Chappelle a poor rating.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I need to fit into the community.
Yeah.
I'm in. Don't kick me out. I'm in. Please, I'll do whatever you want.
Totally.
Like, I want
what's everyone else saying?
Yeah.
It's bad?
Yep, it's bad.
Oh, it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's like, you want to be beige, you want to be unconfrontational, you want to have no opinion, or if you do, it is the opinion of the group. Mm-hmm. Fall out of that, get it fuck out.
But also, only in big groups, right? I just don't think that there's that many places where people aren't allowed to have their opinions. You know what I mean?
In our world, but not when you're in that world of celebrity.
But I think even in their own friendship group, or you'll be out. In their own friendship group, they would still have big opinions.
If you saw some person on television on the project, their opinion on the project
would not
be the same opinion they share.
Yeah, totally. Pete Helliar is a fucking cricket bloke. Like, you know.
But any of them, it's like, you know, on camera, they're pro whatever.
I know, yeah.
And then behind, they'll still vote Liberal. Like, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't know.
How boring.
Cricket and that.
Politics commentary. That just makes me laugh. I'm like, what a shit job.
Yeah.
Being the political commentator. But those cunts love it, though.
And here we have Scott Morrison's aeroplane. The aeroplane was built in 1998, I believe.
And he's never flown on this one before.
Yeah.
Interestingly
enough.
got it.
He was the only Australian, Prime Minister to be invited by Trump. So interesting. You can read into that as you will.
But do you know how much they were hammering in, and it was clearly the opinion of the network, they were hammering in how much of a relationship Australia and the US have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we don't. Like, they might have a small political... It's not as strong as fucking the UK and America and Australia or whatever.
I think we do have
I'm sure we do, but
we have bases
but they were
here and there.
like hammering it in. They're like 100 years, 100 years of a very strong,
friendship.
Friendship.
Fuck
I'm like,
China.
Fuck me. It's so boring.
What was it? Sunrise.
Oh yeah, some rubbish.
That's just.
And they
trash.
interrupted the news for it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Speaking of shit TV, me and Frank went to see Rambo last night.
Was it sick?
No, but I got home and Julia was watching The Bachelor.
Yeah, Deb watched it too.
I've never watched it. I watched the last 10 minutes of it. Man, it is too easy to make fun of. Like, I don't even want to.
It's just...
Like
that guy is such a fuckwit.
I listened to the last 10 minutes.
Hell?
He goes, my biggest fear in life is opening up. I'm like, cunt, have you thought about being buried alive? That's way worse. That is 1,000,000,000 times worse. Have you ever thought of having your fucking fingernails ripped out?
Yeah. Pretty bad.
I'd rather just open up.
Yeah, I know.
Worst show. And
it's terrible.
I hate how people...
But that's him saying something for the sake of saying something, eh?
Yeah, totally.
I think that guy had no fucking
I can't comment
personality.
because I didn't watch it. Yeah. I saw the girls, a few of them. They all look like fucking duck-billed platypuses.
Yeah, I know. It's
Their lips
fucked.
are fucking
I know,
shit
it's
house.
so fucked.
I'm like,
who finds this attractive?
Who does find that attractive?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's weird.
But it's just...
The standard of... If that's the standard of beauty, consider me...
But it's not, though.
Consider me like an ugly
it's the same.
people.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing where there's a separation between what's famous or on TV or fucking big on the internet or whatever. There's a separation between that and real life. And there always has been, right?
People can't
but it's way more
differentiate.
extreme now. And I think a lot of people think that it's reality. But I don't walk down the street and see people with duckbill lips.
No.
Never. Never, ever.
I was at a first birthday not too long ago. There was several women that looked like that.
Yeah. But
that's
their community, though,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And I'm
They
sure
all
they
look like that.
they feel that way, potentially because they go to events or something like
And
that.
she got it done,
And
so I better get it done or
Yeah. So
something. I
if
don't
I
know.
don't have it, I'll look like
Yeah.
But there's a clear difference to real life and that. But I think people that watch that shit, I mean, I'm sure lots of them do think it's ridiculous, but some of them that watch it, it doesn't even enter their head that that's weird. It's just like, that is what it is. And I'm like, what? How can you watch this and go, that's okay?
Yeah.
And not think that it's purely entertainment.
I get it.
That doesn't make... If I'm watching a show... Like, I've told you, I'm not anymore, but I have watched Married at First Sight, right?
You're not watching it because it's on TV anymore.
No, but I'm not watching it from now on because it's just so shit. And it was shit before, but there was elements of it that made me really laugh. But all the time that I'm watching it, I'm knowing that this is entertainment. And I know that most people are, but there's some people that aren't, and that's weird.
What do you mean they think it's real?
I think a lot of people think that that's something that could happen in life.
Yeah.
It's like, no, cunt. Like, what the fuck?
I do give people too much credit in that. I think I generally think that people aren't fucking stupid.
Yeah, they aren't.
But I don't know.
But a lot of people
I was at
seem to
Northland.
not-
I was at Northland yesterday at 6:30. You could film that joint. It was
Oh,
like
man.
a fucking zoo.
It's fucked.
There's people walking around there.
I
I'm
used
like,
to work there, bro.
I'm like, where is your brain? We went to the Rambo. We watched Rambo, rated R. I'll give it a shit. It's a shit movie. It's very shit.
Wasn't
movie.
planning on watching it, to be 100%.
Rambo 4 was good. I liked Rambo 4. That was
That was the one where he...
in Burma or Myanmar.
Yeah, and the cunts step on the landmines and blow up. And
yes,
shit.
and it's
That was
just him
good.
massacring
That is
people.
bloody as fuck,
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
this wasn't.
There's too much of a story or something? Or
No, it was just shit.
Hollywood?
It was no, not even. I think it was like Rambo is living on a sort of an estate, like a farm, and he has this woman living with him, this Mexican woman, older woman, and she's like, my niece is going to college. She's like a daughter to you. Yes, she is like a daughter to me.
Never seen her before.
Yeah, she's in the movie.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you're like a daughter to me. Yes, you're like a dad to me. But I want to go see my real dad. And then she goes and sees her real dad in Mexico. And the real dad's like, I fucking don't want you. Why are you here? And then her friend takes her out for drinks. And then she gets taken by sex traffic workers and they kill her. And then Rambo has to take revenge.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Taken
what?
5.
But they could have done it cooler if they did something where they dealt with his PTSD or something. Which that was the grouse thing about Rambo 1. Rambo 1 is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyone who bags that is an idiot. The scene at the end when he's just like
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Rambo?
Nah, I know. There's a lot of those sorts of
Rambo
movies.
1 is legit good. It was based on a book about Rambo 1 is legit good. It's based on a book about a Vietnam soldier who's in America and everybody's giving him shit.
Yeah.
And the scene at the end when he's just like, and then I'm there with him, and then his head's gone. I'm like, where's Johnny? He's just supposed to go home, baby. I don't know where he's gone. And he's like, what is this? Oh, he's supposed to go home. Brilliant fucking scene, right?
Righto.
Anyway, we went to Rambo, the new one, and yeah, there was this scene, right, where this guy gets a pitchfork like through the face.
Yep.
And then Rambo rocks up behind him with like a shotgun and shoots him in the head, and his head fucking falls off.
Yep.
And then in the crowd, you hear, wee, wee. And I watch it with Frank.
No shit.
And Frank's just like, is there a baby in here? These fucking nuffies bought an infant to watch Rambo. Like, just get it babysat, or if you can't, stay home. It's
Don't
fucking
go.
Rambo.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
It's not like
You don't need. Yeah, it's
don't
not a
have to
fucking
watch it.
gala. It's not a ball.
Yeah, like.
Jesus Christ.
So there was a couple there with a baby, and I did see them as I was walking out. The baby would have been fucking, I don't know, 2 months old.
Yeah.
And yeah, this other guy was there with his 2 kids. They would have been about 6 and 7. Like,
How if it's an R-rated movie, what?
how do they get in?
How?
Yeah, I guess if the parent buys a ticket, end of story. Like I said, like the 6 and the 7-year-old being there, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
But
For a 6 and 7-year-old though,
yeah, it's
that's traumatizing. Surely.
maybe because I can't relate.
Because you don't have, when you're 6 and 7, you don't have the reference points for what is reality and what's not.
Yeah.
You don't understand that. So seeing something like that can be traumatizing.
Maybe.
So he potentially traumatized his kids with that.
I was more interested, like I said last week, about the guy who brought his fucking 8 and 9-year-old to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's an effort because that movie goes for 4 days.
Yeah, yeah, I know. All right. Much more?
Oh,
Got to finish up.
yeah. Yeah, not. I guess I can't be bothered, but yeah, Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, there's an election in Canada at the moment.
Right.
And so now they've released all these photos of him back from 2002 putting blackface on.
Yeah.
And he's like just apologising and they're still going after him.
Yeah.
That's a weird one in itself.
You have to apologize for that.
You have to today, yeah. But people used to do it a lot, like 7 years ago.
Did they though?
I never did. I know people who did.
I know people who did too.
Right.
We know the same person who did.
But there was nothing that wrong with it then
this
because
is
that's
the
why
same
they
thing,
did it.
though. But this is the same thing in small circles. I think it's different than in media.
My point is, a couple of
If you're
points
a
is...
fucking politician that is in charge of a country, you can't be going around wearing blackface.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
He wasn't when he did it.
No,
of
I don't
course.
disagree. But the couple of things that I thought of is on the internet and on Reddit, everybody nearly is saying this is a non-issue. So individually, it's a non-issue.
Correct.
But as a group, we're outraged.
But
then
are they though?
As a group, the group mentality is yes.
Where have you seen that? Where have you
the
seen
fact that it's on fucking Twitter and that.
No.
The fact that it's in the news.
You cannot. No, incorrect.
What?
Because that's the media pushing an agenda.
Right.
It's not people. You have to separate media from people.
That's my point.
The media wants people to talk about it so that they get views and clicks. And that's when people talk about it. But I can guarantee you that 90% of people are going, yeah, he was 16 when he did it or whatever.
Well, he was a bit older, but yeah.
But you know what I mean? He wasn't.
My point is that I think, like most things, individually, people are decent.
Yeah.
But once you put them in categories and in groups,
Yeah,
they
I
go
agree.
insane.
I agree with that, but I also think that I've seen and I've kind of come to realize that you can't base an argument even. You can't even say I'm on this side of the argument because I don't think there's another side. The other side is the media. You know what I mean? It's not actually a group of people saying, no, we genuinely believe that this is okay. It's like, no one thinks it's okay. The media wants you to think that people think it's okay. But no one genuinely...
You're mixing me up. The media is saying it's bad.
Yeah, well, whatever the case might be.
Okay.
I'm just using that as an argument. Yeah, okay, so let's go the other way. I don't think that anyone thinks that it's okay to wear blackface, right? Everyone knows that. It's like, unless, like, there's times when you might do it as a joke and whatever.
Philly did it.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, but my media is different to a group of people because I don't think there is a group of people.
Yeah, my sort of point was like, I don't know what my point was, but it's like people know not to do it now.
And that's why people do it?
No, now.
Yeah.
Whereas in 2013, it was
I think
okay
some
to
people
do it.
still do it now.
It was okay to do it.
I think some people still do it now. I reckon there would be.
Yeah. And also we sort of follow America's outrage as well.
Because a lot of people view America's content,
Yeah.
media outlets.
Because Australia did bad things to Indigenous, but we never had a blackface. Like, I don't know nothing, right? But the problem with blackface is that it was used as this racial thing. You know, they put the blackface on, the big dumb lips, and the hands are shaking and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where it stems from. So now when anyone does it, they're like, you're trying to emulate that bad thing.
Yeah.
And like in Australia, like we didn't do that. So, or maybe we did.
No,
I don't know.
But what we did do was we said Ching Chong Chinaman and pulled our eyes and wore stupid hats and called wogs wogs and, you know, and it was an offensive, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we did that.
Yeah, different forms of stuff. I don't know, right? Because I'm getting tired. But this falls back into the apology side of things also. It's like nearly sometimes the worst thing you can do is apologise.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's that's
just
dumb.
be okay with being an asshole, and people won't remember.
Yeah, it's like
you have
once you apologise, they don't stop going after you.
Yeah,
like
correct.
Like
Kevin
Hart.
Hart.
What's the little comedian?
Kevin
Kevin Hart. Roseanne. Roseanne apologised, and that wasn't enough. We need to take more shit from you.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump, it's like water off a duck's back.
Correct.
He just doesn't acknowledge it. And if you don't acknowledge it or apologise, which we're taught is the wrong thing to do, you get away with it more.
Yeah.
Whereas this, like Justin Trudeau, who I don't really like, he's apologising profusely. He's just like, this is because I was a privileged white male and I didn't know the outcomes and I'm sorry and I won't do it again and I was an idiot. But it's like, no, we want more.
Yeah.
Give us more.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whereas if he took the Trump angle of, I'm not saying shit. I'm not even going to acknowledge it.
Yeah, and
It goes away.
He's doing it out of fear. That's why.
Fear, definitely. And also why it was like, what's the thing when something comes to bite you in the bum? Whatever. He was also the king politician of politically correctness. So for this to come bite him in the bum, it's like, suck shit, cunt.
Totally.
Because he once said...
he was the one that is trying to limit free speech in Canada.
Yeah.
He passed a law.
He's definitely doing that, where if you don't call someone something, you can go to jail.
Yeah.
But he also said that he was offended when Neil Armstrong said it's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. He should have said it's one small step for man, one giant leap for humankind.
Yeah.
Okay? So know your fucking place, cunt. Like, he says that, and then he gets done dressed up blackface. It's like, watch your own little backyard.
And yeah, the thing that he could have said is, I don't know.
It reminds me of...
You could just say, look, I was young. I didn't know any better.
And not apologise.
Yeah.
And
people would say that's not enough. And you go, okay, it's not enough.
You nearly take the Trump way and just ignore it.
Yeah.
And just not even acknowledge it. What are they going to do? They can't feed on something that's not there.
Yeah. It's the media. The media. The media of... It's not real life. Again.
Yeah, I know. People confuse it.
So I think him, obviously, as being someone that is purely in the media at all times, would have to pander to media.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't realise that media is going to jump on anything. So you might as well just say what your actual opinion is and deal with it. That's my opinion. This is how I am. You know.
No, but I
But
don't
being
think
a
he wouldn't have it. No, but see, opinion's the wrong word because he wouldn't have an opinion. His opinion would be, I shouldn't have worn.
Yeah.
He dressed up as Aladdin and put brown makeup on. Aladdin. Oh no, yeah, he was
Arabic.
I was thinking of the genie. Genie was blue.
Don't know what race the genie was.
No.
Is that
blue
racist?
face is okay. The blue man group are still chilling.
Yeah.
With the media, a couple of last things. I found this really funny. I was listening to Gold FM the other morning, and they were running a news story about how violent young people are or whatever.
Right.
And it was violent teens terrorize a 7-Eleven in Reservoir.
Yeah.
Bad,
Yeah.
really bad. The next news story is, and this weekend we have the highest number of auctions in history. The first suburb being Reservoir. It's like, wait.
Where do you want Reservoir to be bad? Or
Is
do you want it to
Reservoir
be good?
bad
Yeah,
or
yeah.
good?
That's good. All right.
And last one.
Come on.
You know how we said that like we're not aiming for anything, really?
Right.
Whatever. I think I came for an aim. I think I've come to an aim.
Go on.
I think the aim of our height of success would be, now this is reaching for the stars, right?
Go on.
The height of success for us could
No,
be,
yeah, you reach for the stars so that you can get to the moon. Go on. Yeah.
we're going to just get to the stars, fuck the moon,
Okay.
is, do you reckon, now
Stars
this
are
is,
further away, you
this is,
realise.
I don't care, just shut the fuck up. Do you think that we could get like friendly Geordies to retweet us? Do you think that could be a goal? That could be like the goal.
All right.
I don't like.
I'm not going to put any effort towards it.
Neither am I. But
Well, then it's not going to happen. How would we? If we don't put
add
effort
him.
in, how can we get
on
it?
Twitter? You at someone?
Yeah, well, you're in charge of the Twitter. You can do
I'm
it.
not very good at it.
No. But
I
you
think
can-
that's. I was thinking the other day. I'm like, you know what? If friendly Geordie's like acknowledged that
If
we
someone
were
wants to
alive,
do our social media for free, which no one does, but if they do, you can get friendly Geordies to do something.
acknowledge
Acknowledge
us.
our
Just say like,
existence.
don't listen to these two fat
Because
ugly losers.
his recent sketch that was called High School Camp is the
Funniest
perfect sketch.
when they're in bed.
It is the most
I was
perfect
laughing.
sketch I've ever seen in my entire life. You cannot beat that sketch.
Okay, you
It
definitely
is
can
perfect.
because there was a show called The Chappelle Show,
No.
but it was very fucking good.
Nah, it was-
Oh, sorry, sir. Any more noise? We're not going.
You woke me up, sir. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was
you
so
cannot
funny.
get a better sketch.
When he's just
it's
like-
fucking spot on.
He's like, shut up, you dickhead.
What'd you wake me up for, sir?
Yeah, shut up or I'll fucking have sex with your mum again.
He goes, you couldn't fuck my mum for $2 because she'd be paying me.
Yeah,
The perfect sketch.
He's good
Yep.
for a wanker. All right, we done. I'll go get Paulie.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
We're
you.
done.
Goodbye.
Bye.